On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we're going to talk to you about more Summer 4. And, of course, the brand new class that came out with a guy that everybody knew because it was in the story bit at the end of Lawsbot 6. Anyway, there's a new class. It's great. Hi, how you doing? I'm one of your hosts. I am Greedy Omega, and with me as always is the Heavenly Demon Lucky.
Everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka The Great Pretender. And while we here at City Make, I'd like to bring you the latest Snapchat-related news and memes. We will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EN version of the game, so anyone not want to spoil should go farm more QP.
I just realized that I did not write a pro tip this week. I just left last week's in.
Oh no!
Spoilers. Pro tip super fast, and I can't even say it yet because we're only like 45 seconds in, and I don't want to drop a hard F-bomb. Just farm QP more. Like I said, just do it more. I'm at like 200 million QP points. Do it more. There's like 5 days left. Farm more QP. It's great. But yeah, hi. Here we are. We're going. Before we go anywhere else, though, I would like to go ahead and remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by our patrons, because I always forget to do that. I'm so complacent. I'm sorry. Anyway, these patrons include Adam DeHarp, Ahaga Comics, Aga Kazeme, Erite 10, Backlist OG, Carlos Qua, Dragon Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Kylie Ten, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Reaching Raptor, Rogue Robin, Sharver, Tiny Peep, some guy named Bob, Soda Son of Tuver, and Cyberden23. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out, and has been helping us out for a long time. We're very fuzzy about this because our personal anniversary isn't really that important in terms of dates. It was just when we decided to do things, and I think it's a Saturday or something originally because we recorded these on different days. But I think this is 4 years of LTFGO.
Is it?
It's like 2 weeks in August. It's like somewhere. It's like 2 or 3 weeks. We don't know. We're bad at this.
I don't know if we just want to arbitrarily say the third week of August is our first fucking is our anniversary.
Listen, Lucky, I could track it down, but that would involve math. We could say that it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
It was like a little over a month after FGO came out. And actually came out because you could download the app for like a couple of days before the servers were actually usable. Trust me, I know. I was there. Just the eternal let me in meme. Anyway, hi. Let's talk FGO. It's here. Like I said, I don't really have a pro tip this week. Nothing really new is happening other than the stuff that's happening in JP that's not really relevant right now. I'm going to walk you through it anyway. So we'll go ahead and move on to Record Regular Achievement topic. We'll make Robin's job easier because, last week was a clusterfuck. We'll do Records from the Throne, our regular achievement topic. Mine's pretty simple. I've cleared the event. I've gotten my Grail and my Permanent Hokusai. I am working on the extra NP copies.
Yep. For me, it's super simple. I really haven't done much besides try and get through this event. So all I got is I can say is that I got my Suzuka and my damage CE drops. Yay.
I do believe I did get a Suzuka CE drop. I should limit break that sometime. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. I'm 90 missions deep. I'm fine. Everything's fine. You open up a lot, Lucky. You'll be happy, but also slightly perplexed. When you clear the main part of the event, you open up a lot more shit and clear a lot of emissions right away. Also, there's a lot of stuff to do, though. Goddamn. So many quests. But, yeah, we don't have any All the World's Evil. We're just trucking away at summer. It's fun, but believe it or not, the event about slowly amassing your QP gains is grindy. Who could have guessed?
Well, I think I could have guessed, maybe not so much. We'll talk about this later, but I have thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, we'll save that all for the end, for the last bit. Lucky will be chipping away at the story, I'm sure, while we're talking. I am not, because I'm going to try and keep the show flow going, and so it's very hard for me to read the excellent quality writing of this event and also do the show when I'm running through the notes anyway. But we can go ahead and check in with, did you finish your master missions? So, this week, gonna need you to defeat 15 humanoid enemies, defeat 15 undead enemies, defeat 3 neutral servants, as in the good-evil axis neutral, balanced. I think that's one that is. Yeah, I think it's neutral, but whatever. Defeat 3 chaotic servants, complete 5 quests, and complete 10 quests, aka do the event. Now, seriously.
If you need the undead ones, just go fight John's fucking, Saber node. There's undead there. You just
the Saber node is good. I think the Berserker node is ghouls who are undead. There's a wave of skeletons in the Medjed Casino. There's a lot of fucking undeads, guys. You'll get it done. You're fine.
Yeah.
Trust me. You'll be doing these quests a lot, so you'll get it done. Skeletons might even count as humanoid. I don't know if you can double up or not. There's some stuff you can double up on. So we're going to move straight into the news. Some of this we will go through quickly. First of all, EN, FGO Carnival first season has a website. Yay.
Yay.
Campaign from the 9th to the 16th.
I'm excited about this. I'm just curious about how they're going to deliver the format. Are we going to go to streaming, or are we going straight to discs?
I hope they're streaming, but I do believe in Japan it went straight to disc, so I don't know.
Yes.
Then again, there are also different market concerns. What flies in Japan does not always fly here. Like, how even different companies do different things. We've talked about this before, like how Netflix, for the most part, it's not worth them disrupting their American business model of just binge dumping.
Well, they've actually been getting better about that.
Yeah, occasionally they will do it, and in other regions they'll do week-by-week streaming. It depends on what they think is their best business plan. Also, this means, by the way, no, I have not had time to watch Shaman King yet. It only came out like 2 days ago, guys. I got a backlog. Also, during this time, you log in, you get the CE. We don't have to do a challenge quest for this, which I'm kind of grateful for. In the original JP version, you had to do a quest and punch a bunch of servants. But in this one, you just get the CE when you logged in during this time. And during this time period, double FP and double suck on select servants who are in the OVA. Yay. But yeah, this is interesting. This isn't the... In JP, this was the Blu-ray release celebration. This is just, hey, we made an English website for this, which obviously means it is coming in English. They're gonna actually, give us the official English release and all that. But how is it coming? We don't know.
I think it's good. It's because, like I said, it's just good to know, because like we're still waiting on fucking Solomon news, because they said coming soon, and we're just all like,
yes,
and nothing on that. We
don't have clear news on the Camelot movies.
No.
We don't know when those are coming. We can be sure they are, because Aniplex has done all 3 Heavens Feels, so, like, yeah, no shit. But how and why, where, we don't know yet.
No, so having a website that might, give us some information is good.
And I will say it is possible this is not directly related to FGO news, but is kind of, because of parent companies involved. It was announced last week that merger did clear, and now Funimation Studios now effectively is partnered or owns Crunchyroll through Sony. So we don't know what that means yet. They haven't done any details, but that did go through. So Sony bought Crunchyroll and has folded it under their Funimation brand. So that may mean that your subs and dubs are now coming to you from mostly one great house. Though there are a couple of different streaming services who still stand out. Oh, and they also got Verve. That's interesting. I have not yet used Verve, but hey, God forbid, please, Sony, unify my fucking memberships. I'll do it. I'm still paying for Funimation. Figure out a package deal, merge your libraries. I don't know what they'll do. It'll probably take them a while, because they've probably got to like sift through all their rights and stuff and double check how that works.
I'm just hoping that it just means better quality overall.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Sony is clearly investing in this sphere because they bought fucking Crunchyroll for a literal $1 billion.
Yeah, no,
it was like 1 point something. Big money,
which AT&T is apparently going to use to take care of some of their debt.
Was it 1.5? I thought it was 1.0 something.
It's something.
Still a lot. A literal $1 billion industry, in case you couldn't tell.
I wrote it
But
down.
yeah, this may or may not end up related to what's going on with FGO Anime streaming. But let us move on to the JP news. There's a little bit of it. First up, we should talk about what those last 2 rank-up quests were, because we did not get to do that last time because they didn't exist yet. Sorry, I'm not that kind of future seer. Shocker, it was a Russian, also Drake.
Yay, me.
Yes, Lucky absolutely called his shot. And like, oh, who could it be? I bet it could be Drake. It was even her golden rule. So Aresh's NP is upgraded. Not only does she get the overall damage multiplier boost, but she now does bonus damage to Earth attribute enemies. Gives all allies 20% critical resist for 3 turns and makes them immune to instant kill for 3 turns. So that's pretty useful. That's more damage all around and more support uses, which is pretty good because, Ishtar got that damage multiplier upgrade as well. So this, helps everybody out. And also, Drake's Golden Rule has been updated. It now offers her 10 to 20% Buster Up for 3 turns and makes her ignore defense for 3 turns. So this is just a good little package upgrade. Not that her, NP gain on its own was bad, but, this actually gives her more NP steroid and more effectiveness. Possibly because the game design state has changed now and they realize, oh yeah, we gave this servant a 50% battery. You don't need NP gain. You just slap a 50% starting charge CE. Which, considering, I don't know... that would have been... Was that just Meridian would have been? The 3-star one was just 50% NP MLB at start?
Not sure.
I don't know. It became a trend later. Like, the first couple starting charge NPs were like Imaginary Element, which is 60/75, and then K-Scope, obviously. Which, K-Scopes on units like Drake is slightly overkill. But yeah, that defense piercing and the Buster Up will definitely help her slap harder and stay relevant compared to other AoE, AoE writers. And, it's not like Buster is a dirty word anymore. Plus 3 turns, it's great. Then we got the big one. Avalon LaFay Conclusion Campaign, going from the 11th until the 31st of August. So all of Avalon LaFay is out, which means they are offering Apple logins. You can get 10 apples if you log in. Extra Spirit Stones, and half AP on Avalon LaFay for this duration.
Interesting.
Also some bonus master missions for SQ and EXPs. They're basically yes, it's all out, please finish it. It also
keep going.
Finally kept with the summon banner, debuting Oberon as our first SSR Pretender class, with a rolling rate up also of Fairy Knights, Gawain, and Tristan are back along with regular Gawain and Tristan. So there's actually a decent amount of incentive to roll on this banner, because all 4 of those units I just mentioned are story-locked. Oberon's limited, in case you couldn't tell, or also haven't seen FGO unveil a new class before. Hi, everybody who isn't Jean. Well, I guess BB doesn't count because she started as a welfare, but then they made you wait a year before they came out with the limited one. Let's hope that Pretender is like Alter Egos and Foreigners and not Moon Cancers. But also it is, because speaking of which, we can firmly state what the class advantages of Pretender are, because it's out now officially, and we've got a new diagram and everything, so it's clear and it's all properly processed. And everything was, in fact, basically as advertised. Pretender is exactly what we've been waiting for in a new extra class. If you thought you called what Pretender did, you didn't actually. Everybody and their mother said they wanted this class. That's not a prediction, that's just everybody assumes it will happen. So, Pretenders are strong against Alter Egos, weak to Foreigners, and has the inverse function for Knights and Cavalry as Alter Egos. So they do 150% damage versus Knights and only 50% damage versus Cavalry, but they take neutral damage back. So yeah, there you go. If you want to farm Knights class, Pretenders are here. They're also strong against Alter Egos who did not really have an explicit weakness before, which is, good quality. To beat up Alter Egos, you had to have specific limited units which had time-limited buffs, like Kama or the upcoming Musashi regular upgrade, where she gets bonus damage versus Alter Egos and Moon Cancers. Which seems funny, all things considered. I wonder if we'll work on why that may be true.
Maybe it has something to do with her world hopping or something.
Yes. Or she's just ready to beat up BB.
I would not say that's wrong, but
you never know.
Anyway, so Pretender as a class is interesting because it's one of those classes I think just that kind of came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it's a class concept that by its description should probably exist, but didn't.
Yeah.
Let me
the thing that
translated line.
Yeah, the thing that bamboozled me most about Pretender is that because my shot in the dark with this whole class being is I was assured that was going to be Fakery, which is a class that technically does already exist, even if it is a very severe and limited situation. But then again, outside of the main classes, all extra classes kind of are. But like I said, we haven't actually heard anything so far saying that the Pretender class is not the Faker class, per se. They might,
yes and no. I'm looking at the description. It literally says the words, not a fake or a counterfeit. So, the person who is a Pretender is not a fake servant or anything. It says basically, the translation I've got says, those who have given false representation, deceiving and misleading others to do great deeds. The grammar on that is very ambiguous, yes. Not a fake or counterfeit, but someone who deceives even the soul until more power and greater achievements than the real thing remain. That last bit is also ambiguous.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's really fucking ambiguous.
The only thing that is not ambiguous is they make sure to say, no, not a fake or a counterfeit, don't... It's like they're trying to be like, no faker beeps, shush, quiet you.
Nah, I don't buy it.
Well, here's the thing, in the volume of Requiem that came out immediately when they did the collab, they actually clarified that no, Voyager's class is just Voyager. So, Voyager is a foreigner in the game because that's way easier than making up yet another nonsense class that only one person exists in. This absolutely doesn't stop the character we know as Faker from being a Pretender.
Yeah, I guess that's what I want to mean. It's for FGO mechanic terms, they have to shoehorn things in. Mm-hmm. So this was something else we were probably talking about earlier. we might finally get that Case Files rerun.
Yeah, I wrote this in the news notes. This is not directly FGO news, but the second volume of Adventures of El Meloy, the Case Files sequel, has come out. It has some new and familiar faces in it. But this means that a lot of people are speculating that Rene's Case Files rerun is around the corner because it hasn't come out yet all year, even though FGO has had plenty of blank space to slip a rerun in. They still didn't do it.
And as we know, FGO likes to hold on to things until it's the right time.
Yeah.
So
sometimes to their detriment. So yeah, I could see it. I could totally see it happening. And many people, including myself, are speculating this will possibly be the character faker on a banner because I would like to remind everybody the gap between alter egos and foreigners was really short. Alter egos was literally between the two SSRs was a week. And then for Foreigner, it was a little over a month. So clearly, they pre-planned that they would want to do this kind of circulation. I'm very hopeful that this will not be like Moon Cancer, where we have to wait a long time. Do I think any pretenders will show up in summer? Probably not. That seems a little too on the nose in terms of their pre-planning. We don't know though. That's like a month out ish. Month. We don't know.
I don't know. The banner ends on the 30th. Their banner ends on the 31st. I would not be shocked if they started summer of September 1st.
Yeah, that would be possible as well.
But yeah, no. So actually, someone brought this up last week, and I did want to call back to it because I thought it was frankly ingenious. But with everyone talking about pretenders, someone brought up the possibility of Solomon/Gatia being the pretender class, and I was like, when I heard that, I was like, ooh, that's a powerful thought.
I mean, I'm not saying anything confirming or denying speculation. I just want to point out that technically, the Pretender class alignment does give them a similar effect to classic Demon Pillars. They are strong against Knights, weak to Cavalry. So that would be a very interesting parallel that would totally be the kind of bullshit that Type Moon and Delightworks would do.
Yeah, so shout out to you who mentioned that. I can't remember who it was. It was a week ago, but
there's a lot. People have already been like, "Oh, what if Saint Nicholas was Santa Claus pretender?" Because he just people think he's Santa Claus so hard. There's so many options. It's the idea of pretender as, and like I said, the grammar on this is so like. Other than the fact that Delightworks wants you to know they're not a faker, they're definitely 100% not a faker. Definitely.
No, this is the Lightworks that's lying to you and everyone.
They're like, definitely not a faker.
Lies.
But the concepts of like I read out the first line, deceiving and misleading others to do great deeds, so that they can do great deeds, or so that other can do great deeds, right? Like,
right.
Pushing or provoking people into paths of doing something heroic. Similarly, deceives even the soul until more power and greater achievements than the real thing remain. No, Merlin's been straightforward about getting people to do great things. He's just a weirdo.
Yeah.
Merlin doesn't really deceive or mislead. He's just weird to you until you solve the problem. He's just a shady guy. But yeah, the like I said, the deceiving even the soul until more power and greater achievements than the real thing remain. What's the real thing? You mean the real original of that person who pretended, or again, this is the faker kind of weird sideways. The real thing of the real thing. The person they're pretending to be. I don't know. It's very interesting, like I said. We'll see what they do. I hope they are like Foreigners and like other units, very creative and do some interesting stuff. And I honestly like the idea. Also, Axe, I mean, you're speculating characters that already exist. Charlemagne's a saber. He has a magic sword. It shoots beams.
It shoots many beams.
Well, yeah, it's because he's got a rainbow sword of rainbow beams. Hashtag pride? Question mark. Technically, actually, I think in Extella Link they are just like blue and red beams, but yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna read out what Robin just typed because this is probably the best grasp of the situation we've got on. The real fake who is really real and faking is faking as a real faker. Yeah, that's basically the situation we're in. I don't know what the fuck's happening anymore. The words have been used so much that they don't mean anything. Pretender is interesting. I've talked about this before. I understand why it wasn't included as a core class, because it doesn't necessarily fit a lot of the molds of, like, the great heroes. And the heroic items that I think Nasu was going for originally. It's basically a dedicated social character, kind of. They're about lies. You know, they're about lying to somebody and deceiving them, and they have a weird little like Bernie Skullface as an icon.
Let's say the fucking class card looks what's the word I want to say? Ominous.
Yeah, it's like if you fused Avenger and Assassin's class icons, you get a little flamey skull face. As opposed to Foreigner, actually the most ominous class, which is just, it's a weird shooting star thing. Haha, space. Yes, Loki Pseudo would probably be the best pretender ever. Because Loki is full of nothing but doing japes and switcheroos.
Oh, by the way, I actually want to call this person who commented last week saying that FGO is trying to subvert my expectations. They're not. When I was talking about being honest, I wasn't talking about being honest to other people. I was talking about being honest to themselves.
Yeah. That's a key thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Pretender has a weird summoning animation. I haven't seen it. I'd have to double check.
I haven't gone that far.
The card is kind of weak. Actually, hold on. I don't think the card is a spoiler because it doesn't look like Oberon in any way.
Oh, it's like a plague doctor mixed with a jester.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. Here, I'll show people in chat. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like, it's a dapper demon man with weird horn ears. Yeah. Mephistopheles, are good references. Also, guys, I gotta be real once again to talk about that Gatesy comparison. I can't help but be reminded of Lev Laner with this outfit, with the fucking hat and the demony bits.
Mm-hmm.
He does also look like Arsene. Ooh, that would be a good one. Arsene Lupin.
Yeah. Master of Disguise.
Yeah, there's a lot of wiggle room in the class, and like I said, it's interesting. I also kind of like how they fit, right? Because like alter egos are actually split off bits of other people. They are actually separate entities. So yes, of course, Pretender, who are fake people, beat them up. You don't even know who the fuck you are. You can't possibly figure out who the fuck I am. And then Foreigners are just like, what the fuck are you? Nobody knows.
Base.
Alternatively, because the whole point of Pretender is you pretend so hard it becomes real, Foreigners who are like Madness are just like, you're already fucked in the head, dude.
Oh man, that would be...
No special summon animation, okay. That was probably then just the in-story class reveal of Oberon, because we talked about this before. Nobody knew what the fuck his class was, because in Lost Belt 6, he appears as, like, both an archer and a rider, I think.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Pretender Herlock Sholmes, true name reveal. That's fucking Arsene. That'd be powerful.
Very funny.
That'd be powerful. I like it.
But yeah, okay. So there's a lot of our Pretender speculation. I think it's a cool class. I'm glad for the features.
Yep.
Will I be rolling for Oberon? Well, it really depends on whether or not they come out with more soon.
Also, I wanna put some people on blast for talking about how they can't like Koya Sky because she's evil. Twitter has been completely and utterly hoarding on main for Oberon, and you can't convince me otherwise. Stop it! Shame on you! Shame on you!
Yeah, I mean, well, we talked about that last week. People are bad at this. You know, like I'm not gonna say that there are not story reasons for why she does stuff, but when Morgan came out, everybody absolutely ignored that she is the archetypal villain of the Arthurian stories, and we're just like, but she hot though.
Neuron activation.
Yeah, it's neuron activation. But yeah, so I think that's all of our news bits. So at a measly 26 minutes in, I think it's time for some mailbag.
Oh man, I tried to faff it out. It didn't work. All right, let me refresh here.
We should have 21, I think, unless somebody snuck one in literally 5 seconds ago.
Nope, we got 21. All right.
Yeah, we can do all of them. I got. If you want to know more about Oberon, I got those deets on the other side of the mailbag, but we're pretty good. We can just go through them all.
Yeah, that's fine. So, everyone, it is time for Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. This week we'll be getting through all 21, and we begin right meow. This first one comes from Casino King Bun Bun, who says, when a friend of mine got into FGO, she did a deep dive into the lore and characters over the course of a few weeks. She then wrote a short story where her closest friends were masters, and he gave them each a few servants that she thought matched their personalities. Now that I have Bunny Artoria, I have the team from that story, I have one FGO. You did not win grammar, though. May you both achieve such dreams with your roles in the future. Thank you very much for the well wishes. I appreciate that. We move on. This next one comes from, so you're saying there's a chance. Hey all, I want to get some input on this. With the introduction of the bill banning app stores from charging commissions on in-app purchases into Congress, I can't help but wonder how this would affect FGO. Do you think, guys, that they'll be happy with the increase in profits, or do you think, guys, think that we could see an increase in courts, 4- and 5-star tickets, or something else entirely? Regards, cautiously optimistic dude. So, to be fair, I have not overlooked the bill in its entirety, because let me tell you right now, when they put bills out, there's a lot of bullshit in there. I fucking hate looking at bills. There's so much jargon in it. I hate it.
I should also point out, this person said it was Congress. No, it's a Senate bill.
Yes.
It is bipartisan, though, which is a fucking miracle these days. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I haven't read the major text, but I have read a summary. The basic idea is, for people who aren't familiar, this is a whole ongoing civil suit right now, because it's not a matter of officially determined law. Fortnite is trying to punch out... Epic, I should say, with Fortnite is trying to punch out Google Play and Apple, because all purchases have to go through their app stores, and they get a tiny commission slice of that. And this bill is basically like, hey, that's not competitive. That builds a monopoly market where you're preventing people from monetizing their products anywhere but your storefront. And they will prevent Apple and Google from taking those slices of the store.
I believe there's also a few others on reducing restrictions and whatnot.
Yes. But it's aiming for to make app stores less anti-competitive, as a lot of people do frequently think of Google Play and Apple stores as being very, very strict and not fostering a open marketplace.
Yeah, which is
true.
So, with that though, if, like I said, if that bill does get passed, I do not necessarily mean that will actually while that might be like a bigger slice of the pie for the Lightworks, I don't think that'll necessarily trickle down to us in the form of courts and tickets. They will probably actually just take those profits and invest them into just other fucking, Type Moon, FGO properties and whatnot. Getting the next animes out, getting the next figures out, getting all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that FGO does that is not necessarily related to the mobile game.
Yeah, basically, I appreciate the thought, and I am certainly not upset that this would potentially mean that FGO English would be making Delightworks effectively more money. But it is important to remember that Delightworks and FGO are based in Japan, so what affects, other than the restrictions of being hosted on the English App Store in America and stuff, I don't know if that actually applies to anything directly with them, legal change in areas of operation and all that. I'm glad that they will be making probably a slightly larger profit, which they can put into other things. We will almost assuredly not see that directly in FGO. You're not going to get free tickets just because they make slightly more money. What you may see is investment in things like the USA Tour when y'all actually get all your fucking vaccines and the Delta variant's not a problem. It's not coming back this year. Spoilers. But that would be the thing that they would reinvest in, is the tours, panels, when they do live streams and stuff, whether it would be like flying guests to America, or much, much more likely actually flying Albert out to Japan so he can be at those in person, as opposed to appearing as a giant floating head. That would be where it would go. They would take that extra slice of profit and reinvest it in the property to reward the fans that way with higher production values, more celebrations, better stuff.
You know what?
Maybe, procuring additional merch drops, for instance, merch stock, that kind of stuff. It would not translate directly in, oh, hey, because we now actually make all 99 cents when you buy one Saint Coins, as opposed to just making 75 cents or whatever ungodly cut. By the way, slight spoilers. I saw a hashtag about Twitch do better. Did you know Twitch takes 50% of the profits from their partners?
Wow.
Yeah, we're not even that bad. I think YouTube's like 20 or 30. Damn, that's rough, buddy. But yeah, so I don't know what ungodly amount of money Apple siphons off of you just because they host your fucking app or whatever. But no, it's literal pennies on the dollar still, even if it's percentiles. So I'm sure it will not be like, hey, you get 2 more Saint Courts because we get extra money now. It will probably not translate that way. Anything else on that subject?
No, I think that'll be it. So, we shall move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from the game. This game got me. Steve has officially been gotten. They say, hey, Leviathan Rouge, Lucky, and Old Time Sour Omega. How's the game been treating you? Sorry, this may be a long one? Question mark.
So after the read more, I don't actually think this question is that much longer than some of the long ones we've got. You just have a lot of line breaks, my dude.
After the mountain of misery that I've had to traverse last week, I come to you in a much better place. I succumb to the pull, the gravity... okay, I was like, wait a minute. The gravity of those 2 kilogram booba. And after 2-pack, which is a lot for me, you put a lot of commas in here. There's a lot of interrupts.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be a run-on sentence.
I guess that's true. Feeling ever more the miserable, I may or may not have sent a strongly worded, read as polite, email to support questioning the gotcha. Really? Then, seeing a daily Musashi post on the subreddit around 1 a.m. at night when the timing felt right, that's when your man is at peak, I purchased the 25 USD pack for one last shot on my very, very last card. She's finally home. I'll go for MP2 next year, but for now, all is right. My question for you two is, which servant has given you the most grief over one for them, but did, after much pain and suffering, finally come to your Chaldea? Hope your eggs are gone by the time you read this, Lucky, and if not, go away ASAP, and hope your new house is treating you well, Omega. Cheers. P.S. So, Buster Go Burr for you? Question mark? PS2, free 5-star cool altar in 2 years time hype. So, Lucky still hurts, but that's because he, works and works out and, has a bad back-ish. But to answer your question, I think the hardest one I've probably been rolling for and did actually get is Da Vinci. I think I only got Da Vinci this year. And I've been trying to roll Da Vinci since first anniversary. Like, just anytime Da Vinci's up, I'm like, I'm throwing ticket, I'm throwing shit, I got nothing. Took me 4 years-ish. Mm-hmm. Still have no Moriarty, though. I die inside. And no MHXA. The pain is real. I'm
trying to think. I think the one with the most suffering that I actually got was a Resh, because like I said, I got an Enkidu spook on that banner. But all servants I have were either gotten like right away at that rate up, or I don't fucking have. Like, I still don't have Musashi after. Summer Mordred possibly. That took at least the year to the rerun, and that it wasn't. Honestly, the second time it wasn't bad. It's just the game was like, no, you roll 5 stars that first night. I also didn't have as much money. I could only spend like $50 on that one. It was years ago. That was also fairly suffering filled in terms of banners, but like I said, that was just mostly just one weird blow up on the others. All the others have just been, I don't have them yet. Like I said, I've dumped, multiple digits of dollars into Musashi and like over 500 Sate Quartz into regular Musashi. No joy. I guess I saved it all for summer. Now I'll have to get that sweet tan skin. Though don't think I didn't notice that the only one you get free in the mission list is Melt Sunglasses. Thank you for mocking me, FGO. How dare. How dare you. But yeah, like I said, all those that have been a struggle were just like, nah, nothing. Like, okay. Just how it goes.
That's how it went. So we will move on. Thank you very much for that. Our next one comes... What?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry.
Making a joke.
This next one comes from Moon is questioning what her voice really sounds like to others, but everyone gives their different answers. This is correct. Vibrations are weird, yo. They say, hey there, Lucky Omega. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. Since you guys record yourselves often, I assume you have a firm grasp of what you sound like. But what did you guys think your voices sound like before doing YouTube? As for myself, I always thought I had a high-pitched voice, but I've been told recently I have an auto kind of voice by a few fans. Anyways, have a nice weekend.
I would say I definitely have a decent appreciation of what I actually sound like because, hey, if it's been a while since I talked about this, how we actually record the show is I literally loop my audio. I listen to my microphone so that all of it comes to the audio output, and then I just capture my computer's audio output, so I get lucky as well. I'm not trying to layer sound waves and stuff. But yeah, I think I used to think I was a little, because this is an important thing. If you don't know this, which you probably do by now, especially because, recordings are everywhere, but you don't sound the same to yourself as you do to other people, because what your ears hear when they hear your voice is they actually hear the vibrations of your vocal cords inside your body, which is different than how your vocal cords vibrating and sending that sound away from you sounds. Lucky talked about this earlier. So I think that I sound a little like in reality, I'm a little more higher pitched than I thought I was naturally. I thought I was a little bit deeper voiced because it resonates a little more in my chest and my throat. Other than that, I think sometimes I sound a little nasally, but that's also probably just because my sinuses are sometimes awful.
Yeah, you actually often sound like a bit nasally to me, but I don't know. Like I said, that just must be differences in ears, because I think my hearing's not 100% because of, military. Mm-hmm. But as for Lucky, I actually haven't actually fully acclimated to my own voice, so I still hear myself differently. Because I do not listen to myself constantly, and usually if I go look at a video, I'm looking for something very specific, and I don't, listen to myself for a long time. I do know what I sound like, though, and God, like, how do I describe, like, how do I sound my own voice? I don't know, but apparently people like my voice, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I think my actual voice is actually deeper than how I sound to myself. And what, like, smoother? I don't know. Deep and smooth, like chocolate. But that, as we say, is that. We're gonna move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from a master filling the role of dealer at a high-stake poker games in Casino Camelot. They say, hey there, Lucky to Mega, here to confirm that your wanted videos are the best catalyst. Pulled an MP2 Ruler Artoria in one roll after watching your latest one. My question is this. Yeah. Do you know if it's possible to do Castoria loops with NP1 Berserker Musashi? I got lucky with one copy. I was wondering if I needed another one. Have a great week and best of luck grinding QP. So, immediately
Okay. I want to phrase this. So this person asked us the question: do we know if it's possible to do Castoria loops? Which
I know.
I feel like the honest answer is meh.
Man, but no. I've seen numbers. Technically, yes. With Castoria, I mean, God, you can probably be able to loop with any fucking goddamn art.
Basically, I mean, yeah, her multipliers are crazy good.
Like, just usually have something on the side, because again, she has an arts buff, she has an MP charge and an MP gain up on her stuff. Like, fuck yeah, especially if you
your damage output might not be capped, but you should loop.
Yeah, like I said, just make sure your Musashi skills are up, especially her second one. Mm-hmm. That gives her that MP gain. You'll be fine.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say was you're better off like asking you the comments, which immediately as Lucky finished finishing this question, somebody in the chat was like, with Castoria, easy. And I'm like, yep, no, that's exactly what I thought. So yeah, while we are not experts, many people do watch our show and occasionally comment on things.
Like I said, if you bring
loops is really easy though. It's really easy modo.
Yeah, if you want to maximize that, grab you like a Tamamo or Paracelsus, or even a Nero Bride.
Some people like Bride because eventually her NP gain up gets a battery attached, but you could also just go for Paracelsus because his NP gain buff off his buffed Philosopher's Stone is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And he's free.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you, Tyrano, for being late to the party. That was literally the last bullet point.
Yeah, no, for Lucky, like I said, I'm throwing down for Castoria because I'm gonna have the wombo combo of Tamamo Castoria, and it's gonna be amazing. And I will continue not to need fucking friends ever. It's gonna be great.
It's always better when you don't have to rely on people. Stare sideways at support lists.
But that is that. And we're gonna move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from King of Apples, who knew their utter devotion to Ku Alter would be rewarded. Question. Are there... Okay. So I have to stop.
Incorrect there, by the way.
So, they put there, but they didn't put, like, THEIR. They didn't put THERE. They put THEY''RE.
They are. That's an abbreviation, guys. That's a contraction. It's not how that works.
It's not how that works. You get a red pin. Just... Anyway, are there any servants who command card layouts that you would change and why? Personally, I would like to change Shansang, to Buster Arts quick so she can Buster Brave Chains for big damage and make people talk to the hand. Personally, I like having it because it just means I can fucking self arts chain, which is great, especially since she has a. But yes, I would have one. I would make Tamamo a arts deck.
I mean, yeah. While we're asking this question, that is almost assuredly not going to happen outside of buffs. Yeah, no, might as well. I mean, like hypothetically, there are some servants who would probably be better suited by slightly different decks, but that would also probably mean Slightly different hit counts and NP gain stats, because servants are kind of designed, like, all organically for all parts to go together. You may think that a servant has bad NP gain because they've got, like, 0.4 NP gain on, only 2 arts cards that are, like, 4 hits or 3 hits or whatever. But then you may look at some of them and realize they've got an 8-hit arts NP, which means, if you don't want them to literally loop for free, you need to make sure that their NP gain is lower because of how you've designed the way their NP works. And NP hits are not necessarily always just based on mechanics. Sometimes they are also based on the art design. No, this is not just a preview of me talking about Summer Hokusai later for Welfare Corner. That's a lie, it is actually. I was only pretending, haha! Oh, no, Lucky, to clarify, Lucky has long been about he talks about not needing people about the support setup because he doesn't usually fuck with it. Like, he just takes them for free drops and doesn't bother accounting for others in his support, in his team comps at all. I believe that is correct, Lucky, would you say?
Yeah. Like I said, Lucky is fiercely independent.
And I gotta be real, having had to do that sometimes, while I like my support setup to be helpful, relying on other people, sucks, because I can't control them.
Nope.
I mean, I can ask people to swap their support setups, but guys, I'm master level 130-something, I have like 93 friends, and sometimes FGO doesn't spit them all out, because it's limited, so yeah, it's hard. Yes, that is the one problem FGO has, is just like, no ability to, like, really select. Like, I think you can eventually, like, tag people to be more frequent. Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for me, guys. Like I said, I don't think I need to farm any more QP points. Or if I do, it'll be easy. And I mean, I don't need to farm more QP points, as in I don't need to progress further in the event, being over 200 million. I don't think I do. I've got, like, I've literally completed 90 missions. I think I'm good. It's mostly just, small beat-up things, so I'm okay.
Yeah, no, but,
It's really got in the weeds.
Yeah, well, we're gonna stay in the weeds a little bit. Yeah, but, like, I guess, like, I was saying, like, I don't like having to use supports because, again, I can't control, like, remember Lucky being evil? Like, evil, if I can't control this factor, I don't, like, want to use it. I really don't. Like, so I don't want to have to rely on other people's servant selections, what their CEs are level, their skill levels, MP levels, no.
Sometimes you get lucky, right? You
right.
Find somebody, like Lucky, for instance, if I've ever, I've used your Tamalancer a lot because she's very strong. You find a lucky passing whale who's got, I don't know, I know some people who have, NP5, Summer Musashi with, like, an MLB K-scope, and I'm just like, I'll take that, we take those. That's very cruise control. But, like, a lot of the time that doesn't happen, because FGO is on an algorithm. It doesn't always give you those people, so you gotta deal with whatever's free.
So, supports are always in the back, and I have my whatever I'm running team. Ooh, excuse me. So, let us, cut down that grass with a yeah, and move on. This next one comes from Mooncell Master gambling on decent pools next year. Hello, Lucky Omega. First, I want to admit I kind of skipped the fan servant monthly during mailbag last week after it got a little too repetitive when Lucky got discussing his. Okay, sorry, I got lost in the weeds here. First, I want to admit I kind of skipped the fan servant monthly during mailbag last week after it got a little repetitive when Lucky got discussing his points on good and evil and discussing Tomovich. All good talking points, mind you. I just don't listen for what felt like the third time this topic's come up.
It does happen. We often talk about the same. We literally just talked about, I think, same things in this conversation.
Secondly, my question for you guys, which anniversary servant has been your favorite in FGO NA? And thirdly, a second question, aside from anyone with caster balls there, because those are all given, whom do you think needs an animation update the most? Personally, I'm still waiting on Leonidas. Well, since someone has asked us this constantly, I'm going to pull a you and I'm going to skip this, so we're moving on.
God damn it, Robin. Well, they did have their question about what anniversary in NA has been. Have we actually discussed that?
Probably not.
I'm going to say small Da Vinci. Or possibly big Da Vinci. Maybe Sherlock Holmes. I don't know. I like them all. It's not Scotty. You know why. Actually, they might not know why. That might just be a meme. It's not just because old man yells at double Scotty. It's also, like I said, I think it was a cheap cop-out. Which I'm glad they didn't do this year.
Probably have to say Da Vinci small as well.
It's the speed, guys. Speed.
Anyway, but we are skipping the rest of this. You want to be cheeky to me? I'll be cheeky to you.
I will bring up, it's okay if you skip topics, though. You don't necessarily need to bring that up for this. This is why we pay Robin a whole $0. In fact, Robin pays us money to do time codes. So you can skip if you don't like a segment.
So, this next one comes from Okada Hates Me. They say, hey, y'all. Make sure to ignore if you're planning on covering this particular topic or if you already did. We haven't. I wanted to see if you guys agree with the sentiment that Summer 4 had the potential to beat Summer 3 in terms of enjoyability and storytelling, but it felt cut short and thus squandered potential.
What?
This is my impression of it. Just felt that it wrapped up too quickly, and the only thing drawing the event out was the time blocks. Hoping for the move to have been successful and for the bike to be coming along swimmingly. Regards, Y, Ogita Y, frowny face.
Hold on, I want to call a flag on the play here. While they have two different aliases, this person sent in 2 questions.
Oh, did they?
Yes. This was also the person who did the Congress one. Now, admittedly, that was a current events thing, but...
Oh, they did.
That is, that may or may not be a yellow card. I don't actually know. Lucky makes the rules of Wanted. I just did want to point it out.
On Mailbag, you do Wanteds mostly.
Yeah, sorry. Mailbag. Listen, it's late. We have a lot of these to go through. I'm thinking in my head, did Lucky accidentally skip one, or is it just in a different order for me? Which it might be, because he refreshed. This is the problem of not being synchronized. We'll see there if we get there, and if you don't, I've made a personal note of which one was, so we can cycle back. Like I said, I literally don't know. So as to your actual question, no? People... Listen, Summer 3 was really good, but having done the rerun, Summer 3 was also kind of slow. Deliberately, because it was about time loops.
Also,
actually,
real talk, if they hadn't put time blocks in, people would have finished the event day 1, got everything, and just spent their time viewing QP and then complain about they don't have anything to fucking do.
Yeah. Like, yes, the event was drawn out by time blocks, but that's because if you could just roll NP5 Musashi and just cruise control the entire event, which several people did, like I said, I literally have people on my friends list who have, NP5 Musashis, they would just fucking cruise control the entire event. Just give her a damage C, you're doing like 400% damage, it's fine. So yeah, no. Like if there were no time locks, everybody would have done with part 1 right away. I actually think it went pretty well. Like I didn't pay attention to it because I was almost always behind because I was moving and juggling so much shit. But like absolutely, like, every time a time lock opened, right, like, there was people in our NA spoiler, like, showing new screen caps, talking about new content. I think it actually was, like, quite interactive for the community. Like, people had a moment when, like, oh, this is new, we can talk about this now. As opposed to, I don't think that happened a lot with Summer 3, because depending on the loops and what points you had, we were not necessarily all discovering new content at the same time.
Yeah. I know some people didn't like the force things, but I always enjoyed them. Like, the first time, they're fresh and new. And if the second time you don't like them, you can just skip them and keep going.
Yes, but you can't... Robin's complaint is you can't skip them right away to just get to keep your farming.
Yes, you have to push, like, 3 but... Well, I guess if there was a battle in there, you don't necessarily get it, but...
You
I don't know, I
have to fight a battle for...
You have to fight a battle, but, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, again, I don't understand, like, the guys... I really don't people who are like, I must be the max efficiency at all time. I'm just like...
I mean, I don't know if it's efficiency necessarily. It's just you're farming for a point goal, and I had this problem a couple of times myself. You're farming for like point goals or whatever, and then it's like, oh hey, because of the way this thing cycles, because farming is separate from story time, you have to go do a boss fight now. I'm like, okay, I don't really want to do that boss fight, but sure, we got to do it now. It's a like Robin's talking about. It's an interesting thing of time management. You don't get to manage your time the way you want. The game is like, okay, you have to do a story quest or you can't continue the event. You literally can't farm. Which this one does not necessarily do. Different strokes for different folks, you know?
I don't know. I say it forces me to farm. I have to fucking farm QP. Like, constantly.
I mean, yeah, it's the other way around about it. It's like, Whatever. Lucky doesn't understand this person. He never will. We'll move on.
Oh, well, you want to play that way. Fuck this, then.
I mean, we seem to be going in circles. So we'll cut the Gordian knot of the circular argument and talking about the other things I think about talking about, like, they mentioned also specifically, like, storytelling and cutting short. Lucky's not done with the whole thing yet, but have you felt any of the rest of the parts are, like, squander potential with storytelling?
Not really.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like this event's very well written. It's very amusing.
Yeah, no, I guess the only part I can feel like... Well, I can take that back. There is a part that I will probably say was probably undeveloped. Okita's Casino. It's literally like 2 nodes, ain't it? That's it?
Yes, it's true. It's very high-speed low drag. There's a couple of there's a little extra non-story bit at the front and back, I think. Or non-battle bit, I should say. Because despite the fact that there's only like 2 fights in that segment, there's a really, really long prologue sequence of story involving mad science and jetpacks. But yeah, they are not all of the casino swordmasters are paced the same way, which kind of makes sense because there's 7 fights, and then there's a double secret boss fight at the end. Double secret. But yeah, like honestly, that's the only one I really felt like it is actually like short and to the point. All the rest of them are like they basically have a rhythm, right? Like there's oh hey, we can go to a new casino. Let's check out the casino. Oh no, we can't do anything. Let's get the fuck out of this casino. Let's go back to our hotel and make the plan. Cool. Then usually you recruit some randos, you go back to the casino, you punch everybody's face in, Merlin yells the intro, you go home. Somewhere in there you had to farm a shitload of QP and buy a letter.
God, I'm so done with farming QP right now.
That last hump in Casino Camelot is really annoying. It's long. I wanted to get the event finished last night, but I couldn't because I had to spend extra hours grinding the last couple of QP. Also, as Robin has pointed out, I have noticed, because I am in the Part 2 story, the post-story stuff, there are more nodes focused on Ogita as well.
Okay, that's good.
There's literally, you get to do a side quest where she forms the Swim Sengumi and has a whole thing. It's very funny. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's really squandered in terms of enjoyability or anything, and it's not like okay, we've talked about this, right? QP grind, little grindy. Is that really better than farming 3 points ladders though? I don't know. Because, like, obviously in the rerun we had access to CEs, but Summer 3 did have 3 different points ladders, which were usually mutually exclusive. So, it's one of those 6 of one, half dozen of the other kind of things, I think.
I suppose, but also, like you said, like, they did have CEs. You don't get any CEs to boost your QP output.
Well, yeah, not in the event directly. It is a kind of a weird flex, but I think FGO is banking on the fact that you probably have one of the, 3 CEs that increases QP drop, because those do apply. But, yeah, you are right that those are not event CEs. You have to have pre-prepped by buying those. And I did, in fact, absolutely take all the mana prisms I got from shoveling all the servants who weren't Summer Carmilla or Summer Melt into the fires. All those many 3-star servants to get enough mana prisms to buy detective foams, which I have been jamming ever since then. But yes, there are some slight differences in how they handle it. On the one hand, you can argue that the fact that QP itself is kind of a currency is something that you're used to. Most people have to farm QP at some level anyway. This kind of makes it part of the thing. On the other hand, like you said, you don't have specifically event bonus CEs that go with it. You know, the only thing I think you can do is increase drops, which usually means you get more QP, but it's not a direct 1-to-1. It's also only a chance up on the drops as well on the extra servants, enemies. So yeah, anything further on this question?
Nothing further.
It is true. At the end, you do have more QP.
Yeah, no, not a lot. Like I said, I've been farming QP this entire fucking time. I've only gotten enough QP to get melts from 6 to 9s, and I'm kind of terrified of spending it because I don't know what fucking QP cost I'm gonna have to do in the future. So no, it's not that great. I still have no QP. Ugh. So, let me see here. Where were we? Here we are. So, thank you for that one. We're gonna move on. This next one comes from Suffering Success Space ? Hey guys, I don't know if this counts as a gift or a curse, but the Bunny Arturia banner made me spend 350 plus Saint Quartz, which is the most I've ever had to spend to get a servant I wanted. Sorry, that was Lucky just leaning back and staring at the ceiling?
Yeah, I tilted my head. I was like, wait, just that much Saint Quartz? Sorry, all of our patron chat is exploding with gifts, which makes sense because our patrons give us money, let alone FGO. So yeah, okay, all right. Actually, it was 350 plus.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it was under 400. Otherwise, they would have went with 400 plus. But along the way, I got MP5 Mel, MP3 Okita, Martha Anchor. How did you get?
You're doing great, my dude.
On one hand, I walked away with a Grout Hall. On the other hand, I was feeling salty until Bunny came home on my final roll. So it's the final card with no sparks. So yay!
I mean, I understand the whatchamacallit, the no sparks, no fanfare. That's always a little disappointing. Also, no, guys, I want to point this out. This person has not correlated a dollar amount. They just said Saint Quartz. There's no mention of currency being exchanged for this Saint Quartz. Wow. Damn. Everybody's spicy.
Yeah.
My friend, you, sir or madam, have made the critical mistake of complaining about how much Saint Quartz you spent to me and Lucky, who, like, obviously said I'm more about saving and don't spend as much money, but I will stockpile and spend a lot of Saint Quartz if I have to. That's just stockpiled. And then, yes, our entire audience right now, our live show audience, is all like whales and dolphins.
They keep going. So, a question for you, Lucky. How badly did your wallet scream when Tomovich was announced, not to mention the Fairy King and literally every battle so far? 2023 is going to be rough. I mean, honestly, I'm not super sold on Oberon right now. This could be one of those things that, you know, I get actually to the story and like, oh no, I love him, but at the moment, I'm just like, cool. Second question. How exactly does Tomovich wear glasses when her ears on top of her head? What NFF device is she using? Listen. Servant clothing don't have to make fucking sense. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm pretty sure they just affects there with magic. It's there because of imagination.
I mean, so obviously Tomo doesn't have any visible ears on her design other than her fox ones on top, but like, there's also not necessarily any you don't necessarily need ears to hang glasses. It's part of the design, but you can, you
can bounce them on your nose.
Places. Also, do want to throw out that all Tomomos have shapeshifting. Normally, she's hiding her ears under her hat. She can just have glasses. It's fine.
They're an illusion. But also, yes, my wallet did scream loudly. Lucky screamed loudly. Also, I'm a yeller. But I believe that is that, so we're going to move on. This next one comes from Ozzy Nandio, Pharaoh of Zawaldo. They say, hey guys, it's been a while since I sent something into mailbag. I'm currently drowning in salt because after the summer, it was nice enough to bless me with MP1 Merlin and MP2 Musashi. I was subsequently cursed. I waited for the Melt Solo Day specifically and pulled up to Banner 2 after buying 2 80 packs, and the only gold servant I got from the entire roll session was Bunny Toria. Don't get me wrong, I'm not ungrateful, but all I wanted was a penguin. Excuse me, that's a Leviathan. Venting aside, were there any events that you guys where the SR was harder to get than the SSR? Wow. Best wishes. I'm looking forward to seeing what's up, explore more uncharted territory. I said wow because Omega tells this story very often.
It's my one big story. The stream is still, yeah, I don't think I streamed that. I think I recorded it on my phone. There's literal video proof of this happening. You get to watch me slowly spiral into literally lying on the floor. I think I do actually sing aloud. What is the loneliest number? If I didn't, that's what I was singing in my head the entire time. Even though 1 wasn't technically true, it was 3. Damn it, Robin. That's okay. I kicked your ass with battery ban earlier in test games. It's fine. You could make fun of me. You got beat by batteries. But yeah, no. I did a total aside glance when that part of the question came up. I literally mentioned that story earlier. Yeah, that was me. Lucky, do you when you write down your post game carnage, as it were, you barely acknowledge your SRs sometimes. They're all just a blur to you. So do you have any cases where you think that happened?
Where I got SSRs when I wanted SRs? Oh, I have to think.
Yeah, like I said,
not necessarily
kind of tally up.
Like usually, no, because I usually have very good. No, I can't think of any times because usually Lucky's rolling for both the SR and the SSR. And more often than not, the SR will show up. At least one of them will show up before I get the SSR. Yeah, no, Architect has it. Usually it's the other way around. See Summer Mama Disaster.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I think you in general have decent luck with SRs. Or at the very least, you spend enough money that what was it we talked about earlier, that 3% rate, 1.5% rate up rate, usually kicks in statistically.
Yeah. Like, shoot, I think even rolling previously, I think I got both the SRs in a fair amount. I was just spending extra money to get Summer Musashi. Same with Banner 2. I didn't have to actually spend that much to get Okita and Melt. I just wanted MP5 Melt, which tipped me over.
As opposed to Omega, who has always been fucked on Summer SRs.
Yeah. So. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I think that's it for that. Yes, also do look forward to what's up tomorrow. I will be starting Uncharted 3 to get up as far as we can get, and then probably doing more Final Fantasy 14 after that. So thank you very much for that. This next one comes from The Eternal Storm, who says, "Good day to you both and wishing you health. I need it, thank you. Question, now that the Pretender class is a thing, what Legends class alternate versions of previous servants do you think would qualify as falling under that class? Take care. Technically, that's not how this works. The Pretender, like, as I understand it, the Pretender class is kind of a person, their own person, pretending to be something else. So it wouldn't be necessarily an alternate version. Like, honestly, like, the more I wonder about it, I'm like, do you think, our Ben K qualifies for that?
Yes, but obviously, though, he
knows
some
he's not
like Lancers, but yeah, he is the fake Ben K. He is the monk Kaison who spread the legends of Ben K so much that it eclipsed the original Ben Ks, and now he is Ben K.
Yeah.
Will they end up doing a, higher rarity alternate Ben K? I don't fucking know. But, it definitely sounds like what they talk about with Pretender, right?
Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't, other than the fact that he famously has a Naginata, I don't think Ben K particularly has any crazy association with spears. He's got as many swords as he does spears,
Saber Ben K. Well, actually, I feel like a Saber Ben K would actually probably be true Ben K.
Possibly.
Pretender Freya, actually Thor.
I mean, that would be very funny Ascension switch. You think it's Freya, but then the veil comes off and it's like, "Rah, I'm Thor! Fooled you!" We've already talked about earlier, because somebody brought it up in chat, pseudo Loki. If Loki even technically needs to be a pseudo, he's a Jotun, isn't he? I don't think we've ever qualified whether or not Jotuns are actually divine spirits. The ones we meet in LB2 are, mostly giant rocky and or icy or fiery boys.
Oh yeah, that's right. Loki's parentage has never been fucking like fully established for him. You just know his mom's a giant. That's like, we don't fucking know.
He is part giantess and he ends up blood brothers with Odin. That's about it.
Yeah. So yeah, no, he just
So I think there's a lot of options, but like, you want me to like jump out with stuff that we haven't already guessed about? I don't know.
Like I said, we already mentioned Faker from Case Files might work. We don't know, or they just might lump Faker into Pretender just to save on space. And like I said, fucking Pretender Gatia. That's gonna happen one day. I believe it.
I feel like that strongly would fit.
Yeah. So, with that, though, we're gonna move on. So, this next one comes from Gugulian God, saying, during Summer 4, is Ishtar's Babylonian deal with Gilgamesh ever brought up? If not, it's a missed opportunity to do so. How else can Ishtar get the wealth needed to enter the Fair Casino, considering her lack of golden root and notorious luck with wealth?
So this one bamboozled me earlier, because it was very shortly ago. I don't know if the grammar is perfect, and there's definitely not a question mark in this question you asked. As for your answer, I'm pretty sure, no, it doesn't get mentioned, but also, I don't think it matters.
No.
One of Ishtar's normal skills is like, the, wealth of crowns or whatever. The skill about how Ishtar gets whatever the fuck she wants because she throws a hissy fit about it. Just because Rin is bad with money and thus, as a joke, Ishtar sometimes has problems keeping her gems, doesn't mean that she's also not full of gems.
Anyway, I got nothing to add to that. So, we shall move on. This next one comes from Al Ignored Zed. Just Al. Apparently this person claims that we missed their submission last week, and I haven't actually checked back, but if we did, I apologize.
It happens sometimes. Like I mentioned this earlier, Lucky did actually cover the one that I thought he might be skipping. It was just, for some reason, sometimes when you refresh, they get transposed in different orders.
Yeah, it happens. I will not be a cheeky bitch and skip you again. So, they say, comment, hello Lucky Omega, glad to see you. No question this week, just hoping to send you good vibes and to remember the word avocado for the next week. Don't worry, it'll make sense eventually. If you've already made the connection, I hope things go better for you guys next week. This week, even if this week was fine or even good. Thank you very much for your well wishes. We move on.
I will immediately forget the word avocado. And I resent you for saying it will make sense eventually. It's nonsense. I don't care and I don't believe in it. Avocados are fake news.
I should make some guacamole. I should get Chipotle. Yeah, I'm doing Chipotle for dinner. It's Friday.
I like how we both went absolutely different directions. I'm like, avocados don't exist. You can't prove it. And Lucky's just like, ooh, I could get Chipotle.
I like guac. I didn't think I liked guac, but I do. I don't know. It was the whole, avocado craze of people like, yeah, we gotta put it on everything. I'm all like, I'm not about this. And I'm like, I had guacamole. I'm like, I like guac. Anyway, what am I looking at here? Ah, yes. This next one comes from This Rascal's Dream of Bunny Girl King Came True. Nice. A-list is self-explanatory. Next stop ahead, read SQ Solderfest. Super Orion, nothing else to say. I hope you're having a good day, and if not, I hope it gets better. Also, congrats, Lucky, on another Tomomo release for your cultured, collection. Quick support Tomomo win. The light works. That'd be a move.
At this stage,
I'm like, actually, I think about that. That'd be actually pretty awesome. I have a Tomomo for every need. You need to kill something? Tomo Lancer. Or,
well, no, you've got two different you can, if you want to eat waves, you've got Cat. If you want to make an archer's dick explode, you've got Lancer.
Yeah, and then you got Buster support, R support. Yeah, we need quick support. Powerful. So, with that, though, what did they say? That's it. So, yeah, no, that's food for thought. Thank you. I would like actually, technically, well, again, I don't know what's going on with Koi Sky, so I can't actually say shit, but I would like to, again, more Tomomo 9. Just give more.
There's many slots. You literally gave descriptions of like 5 of them in that one event.
Like I said, I can't say nothing about Koyaaskaya because I actually don't know what's fully up with her. I'm not. I have a feeling. I keep having the feeling that it's a future shit that hasn't been explained yet. So, actually, hang on. So, thank you very much for that. This next one comes from. It's to me who suffers from success. Great. Red, great. Listen, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think if it's in parentheses, I'm just gonna make it like red as. Or something like that. I don't know.
You're not gonna do open paren, great, close paren?
No,
I do actually think that's how, like, voice to text reads parentheses usually.
I'm sorry, I feel like that's something we should do. We should just get voice to text, and I'll just feed the question into it and just have it read it back to everybody. I think that'd be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny. We should experiment with that.
We should. I'm gonna put a pin in that. But they say, let's see here. Question. Since the last S lost belt in, NA, I was thinking, there is 2 little Indian servants in FGO, so I would like to know if there's an Indian deity or hero that you wish was a servant, in game.
I mean, we can take out the very easiest cop-out road.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Sita. Boom.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I would also, if I would like to say, I would also wouldn't mind getting, Sarasvati. Well, actually, Lakshmi Bai technically isn't Lakshmi Bai, but with Parvati, Lakshmi Bai, and Sarasvati, you would have the Indian, lady trio. I forgot what they're actually called, but...
That would also be very funny, considering Melt.
Yes. Well, I mean, heck, Lip has Artemis, right?
No, Melt has Artemis, I believe.
Oh, Melt has Artemis.
Virgin Goddess. Melt has Bryn.
Yeah, that's
the other
right.
funny thing. Like, yeah. That is a thing we should point out. It's not like we don't have access to some of the figures that the alter egos are based on already because of FGO shenanigans.
Yeah. What was Lip? Durga, Bryn, and who else? I can't remember.
I can look it up.
No.
It is Parvati. It's Parvati, Durga, and Brynhilde. Yeah, so we got 2 out of 3 for her.
Wow. So yeah, no, it's like we have several already. Actually, now I feel like there should have been a high servant that had Lakshmi Bai in there. Shit. But yes, Sarasvati probably maybe I guess I would say Lakshmi Bai counts enough, even if she isn't actually Lakshmi Bai. Also wouldn't mind
specifically Lakshmi. Lakshmi Bai is the character's full name. Lakshmi is the goddess of luck.
Yeah. Other Indians, I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a Ravana. Like I said, we're not necessarily shy about having our villains. Mm-hmm. Ravana is a pretty big one.
And I mean, we got Vishra.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think those are the top ones on the top of my head.
By the way, I do want to throw out, we're probably not going to get Leviathan. That's one part of Melt we're probably not going to see. They've already given her a summer that lets more Leviathan shit come out.
Yeah. But let me see. Oh, so I think that's it. I can't think of any necessarily else off the top of my head. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe
actually,
some people
if you want to be funny, we may or may not, because Fairy Knight Lancelot says that Melusine isn't actually her original name, but technically we know what the 3 components of Violet are. It's Medusa, Melusine, and Apsara.
Who's Apsara?
Apsara it's a type of Hindu female spirit. They represent, it's basically like how nymphs are in
Oh, okay.
Greek mythology, they're spirits of like clouds and waters.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, I guess that is true. I guess we still have Conjure Drop and Violet to figure out what the fuck going on. Yeah.
And I do not believe we know what all the elements of Khazard-Rep are, yes.
Alright. But I was gonna say something else and I totally hecking forgot.
Sorry, I cut you off there a little, but I was
it's fine, it's fine. I don't actually think it was that important. Oh, you know, I remember where I was going. It's like I'm like, you know, I was talking about like big Hindu deities. I'm like, we haven't got any sort of Shiva action here either.
No.
Nor Kali. I mean, Kali be a hell of a Sakura face. If Kali's not a Sakura face, I'm gonna be shook.
There was a lot of discussion about Dark Sakura as a... I mean, they ended up going with Kama instead, but there was a lot of people speculating about a Kali or Durga, like, Heaven's Feel style Dark Sakura.
Yeah.
No, and with honestly, Kama they did something else nonsense and very Buddhist. Which, by the way, that's another one. Just want to throw this out there. The Big Saver. That exists. That guy's real.
Also, I do want to say this. I don't necessarily think that there's like too few Indian/Hindu servants. We actually have a fair amount, honestly.
Yeah, it's a pretty next to obviously Japanese characters. It's a fairly big block.
Yeah, it's like we have a bunch of French, we have a bunch of English, and we have a bunch of Japanese. But I think like Hindu is like probably number 4.
Considering that Fate started with the rule, and this was Nasu's own original rule, by the way, from Fate's Day Night, that servants could only be from Western mythology. And folklore. I think India's fairly well represented. Yes, the Americas are definitely the underrepresented one.
It's like, I would say like South America doesn't have. We have like no African.
Africa is also like, other than some like coastal areas of North North Africa and Ethiopia with Sheba allegedly as well, since that's mythologically ambiguous. Everybody. Yeah, that's another area that's very, very underrepresented. Now, some of that is obviously probably because, and shout out to this for FGO especially, Fate doesn't really jump in where they don't have research, so yeah, I mentioned North Africa. I mean, there's some stuff in Requiem. Actually, I think there might also be some African characters, African originating servants in Requiem as well.
Maybe.
Requiem seems cool, guys. It's not translated and there's only like 2 volumes out.
But yeah, like we have a few. We have a few American ones, but like I said, they're very odd.
Yes. Especially early FGO's opinion of America has been very wiggly.
Yeah, but like I said, actually no, I guess Hindu would be like 5 because I forgot about the Greco-Roman sphere.
Yeah, but that said, Hindu/Buddhist stuff is a fairly common well for Nasu, because in addition to being a huge Westabu and, you know, constantly yelling about, you know, the Arthurian cycle, he's also, as we've talked about, you know, way into esoteric Buddhist/Hindu eschatology and really, really weird niche Buddhist interpretations of things, which have led us to many weirdnesses. Like Tamamo, basically. Everything about her.
No, but actually, I wonder if I should actually. Well, I'm pretty sure someone has already done this. You know, actually, no, I'm pretty sure someone has. They actually quantified where every servant is from and whatnot. Like,
yeah, that is definitely an image that exists on the internet. I don't know how recent it is, but yes.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, a lot. Just thinking about, like, you know, Matter of Britain servants. Most of them are just Artoria. Just fuck tons of Artoria. Jesus fucking Christ, we have so much Artoria. Why? Stop. Oh. Anyway, I think we're done with that. So, we shall move on. This next one comes from Agent418, who says, "Hello, Omega and Lucky." They say, "Do you think Quick will get a sustain, like how Merlin and Tamamos are for Buster and Arts, respectively? Hope everyone has a fabulous weekend." So, real talk. I don't blame you. I blame me for this. I don't actually understand what you mean by get a sustain.
Yeah, I gotta be real. I'm not sure what the context of you mean by that. Like, do we think that, like how, is this a comment of how, like, Merlin and Tamamo are defensive Buster and Arts support? Because, like, I want to throw out there, just because nobody actually uses Scotty's NP doesn't mean that she's not actually a really tanky support servant. Like, her NP is all stall defense, guys.
No, quick loops.
Yeah, people are just like, loops. And for that question of, like...
by the way, Legendary Boss Hunter says they mean a unit who is better for stall, and I guess that's okay. So.
Yes, if that is a correct interpretation.
Sustaining.
Yeah. In that question, yeah, probably. Like, FGO has done a lot to every year or so, they usually cycle through, they're like, okay, what servants aren't people using? What niches don't they have? What can we do?
Wait,
like,
isn't Osakaba Hime our quick sustain?
Kind of? She was supposed to be, but her buffs didn't necessarily do anything that was specifically quick, so after they buffed her NP to also do Buster Up, she just is kind of generically good. She's mostly about crits. Like, I would say she was supposed to do that role, but didn't because she doesn't have a, like... She does not have a, like, hey, you do quick goo now button. Like, it's, you have to proc her NP.
Okay.
Like, let me pull up her original skill set and compare it to her buffs, because she's had a few. Like, I do believe that you are right in that Osakaba Hime was supposed to be that unit, because her NP is, like, everybody gets quick up, everybody gets, everybody gets 30 to 50% quick up based on her overcharge for 3 turns, which is pretty good. Just saying. 20% defense up, and then increases their max HP by 1k to 2k. And then they just gave them the exact same charge up for Buster on her NP upgrade. But let's see.
Interesting.
She had a vanilla morph. I think the problem is with why she didn't end up that way is because her targetable battery is only 20% max. And it's got a critical star drop rate rolled into it, which, spoilers, if you're already quick, you don't really need. Just do quick chains. It's faster. But yeah, I think what ended up is that Osakaba Hime is just now generally quick support. Or crit support, I should say. Not quick.
Okay.
Because her morph buff gives everybody like 30 to 50% crit damage for 3 turns. She can do Buster and quick. But yeah, so I like to rephrase that question. I do not think that necessarily means that they won't try and make Osakaba Hime like V2. Like, they won't try to take that niche and do it again. Like, there's nothing stopping them from doing different niches at different rarities, you know? Like, Leonidas has long been budget Buster support. And if you want to joke about Osakaba Hime betraying the quick meta, that's absolutely true. Have you met Summer Hime? She has 1 quick card. Yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Like I said, I'd like to definitely see, like, again, I'm always in the favor of more stall strats. So, I do, like, honestly, eventually, just from, monkey smacking on keyboards, yes, I do think they will probably come out with a quick sustain in the same vein as Tamamo and Merlin.
Yeah. Like, while Scotty can loop, that requires a lot of finicking and levels. I don't think Scotty was meant necessarily to be that high-speed low drag. People figured out by throwing more money at the problem, they could maximize that efficiency, basically. More time and money, because skill levels. Hypothetically, we've talked about this before. Quick's primary problem was just that it didn't do enough damage output all at once. You had to, like, do it again afterward with follow-up turns. Which double Scotty system turns follow-up turns into just do your NP again. Just fly again, Lancelot. Fly at them again. But that takes extra effort and NP levels and stuff. I was quite pleasantly surprised too. I'm glad we're doing unlimited mailbag. I'd have to make Lucky stop the timer, but I saw a post or whatever, from Reddit copied by the Grand Order bot that was actually, like, criticizing how, like, some newbies, like, look at double Scotty system as, like, oh, this is easy, I can do whatever the fuck I want, loops, and not thinking about all the fucking extra NP and skill levels and materials you need to make Scotty work, right? Like, just,
right.
I just get a Scotty, everything will be fine. No. You gotta bust your butt a little to get your Scotty in that position, and you need the right servants to go with her. Just because Lancelot is permanent and you can get him in your tutorial role doesn't mean that you will get a multi-NP Lancelot and just make things go burr. Gotta use your brain a little, folks. Think.
Brain!
Plan accordingly. Like, honestly, I would love to do more nonsense art comps. It's just very hard for me because it's been 4 fucking years and I still don't have Taobo.
Anyway, I don't think we actually now have anything else to say on that.
No.
Honestly, I could have sworn. Well, I guess I probably just remember her skills wrong. Blech.
Yeah, no, that I think has always been Hime's detriment, is that while she has a great quick buff, it's on her NP, and she only has a 20% battery.
Thank you very much. This next one comes from SakuraFan07, satisfied with Zegas packing for New York.
Whoa,
yes, this is correct.
That's dangerous.
Dangerous. They say, hey, Lucky and Mega, how are you guys? Summer 4 was fun, got more QP than I left with, and my rolls were satisfactory. My wallet/bank doesn't hate me. So in this case, I won against the house, though I am stuck with a half-incubus court mage of King Arthur for better or worse, depending on your point of view. Happy Friday the 13th, which leads me to the question of the week. What would be scary on a scale of 1 to 10? Redrop Summer Kama or a redrop Halloween Meltrilus/Melt Lilith?
I mean, that second thing's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's Water Arca territory.
They don't...
You don't cross the streams.
In FGO anyway, I don't think they've ever switched artists for a servant. Like, for CEs, they'll do cameos, but no, that's
like I said, Lance Artoria's artist is not Takeuchi, so...
Well, yeah, but what I mean is, that's the thing, right? Like, Lancer Artoria is not Artoria, like, but true. Melt is Melt, so...
That's true. That's very true.
They don't usually swap, like, and for certain select CEs, they even go back to the same artist. Like, Ishida Akira has done every, like, anniversary CE for a Lancer Artoria, for instance.
But, so I will edit this with Water Arca Halloween Meltrilus Melt Lilith. Lucky, hopefully your scooter is finally fixed by the time you read this. It's not. Listen, Lucky's trying to figure out the proper, like, I'm just gonna buy the new tire. That's what I've decided. But unfortunately, I'm not sure, like, what's the proper tire, because it's the back tire, which has the fucking motor in it. So I'm like...
yeah, that sounds like a complex one.
Yeah. So, Lucky's trying to keep himself from buying several tires, because they're not, like, the most expensive fucking thing, but listen, if I have to spend more than $20 for something and it doesn't turn out right, I get a little depressed. So, Omega, looking forward to the Saber Wars 2 program and the Space Sistar and Calamity J wanted. Possibly happening soon, TM, ? Oh, Calamity Jane.
Calamity Jane won't get a wanted, because those don't... 4-star wanteds never did well. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
But, sorry, I was focused on, like, trying to, get a direct link to another comment. I'll do that later, because I think I have to click on the video we've got. But no, we do have to go through a battle in New York first, again.
It leads up to Saber Wars 2 a little bit, if I remember correctly.
Yes. I think doesn't it end with Ishtar and a giant Independence Day UFO taking over Gilfest?
Something like that.
Yeah.
When they are released, keep up the great work, stay cool and safe, you guys rock the house, or in this case, the Shadow Border. So, in my case, I would have to side with redrops and Summer Kama.
That would be very dangerous, yes.
Like, Melt is great. I love Melt. I love my Melt. I really do. But Kama is Kama is a god, but redrop is a horny god on par with Water Arco. Water Arco is very good at specific kinds of things, but redrop is known like I'm going all out. Just
yeah, guys, I haven't broken my brain, right? Like, we already had one battle in New York. This is the second battle in New York, which can't be the same as the last one because they never rerun Neurofest. Except for that one time they reread a Neurofest from, like, 4 years ago this year. It's weird. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Ska-Fest is next year, and we don't actually have our fest for this year because it's not late enough. It's gonna be late this year in JP, actually, now that I think about it. Because they already said summer's probably not until September. Yes, the fest of the ska music.
Get your blast playing now. So, yeah, that is that. Unless you have anything else you want to add to that, Omega?
No, I think we've talked about this before. The possibility of redrop summers is very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Then!
Oh, but we're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done. This next one comes from Barrel is secretly in love with MASH. I don't know about that. I know nothing about nothing, but he's still a fuckboy and I'm gonna shoot him.
If he is, he has a shitty way of showing it.
Apparently never graduated from being an elementary school boy. But this person says, why is there a Holy Grail everywhere? Events, law spots, etc. When Goatia. I'm gonna just post this on Patreon. Goatia was already defeated. Can the Holy Grail appear anywhere?
Yes. So,
again, I believe we mentioned this last week. The Holy Grail is not actually the fucking Holy Grail, believe it or not. That's the thing that actually Goddess Rongominiad had back in Camelot. Well, I say Camelot. But no, us in Chaldea, we basically say that any source of huge magical energy consistent to one spot is a Holy Grail.
And we have an extraction process for this, so it's entirely possible that we make them look like golden cups. That might be us. Some servants actually have literal holy grails that they use for stuff, but a lot of times the holy grail is just a glowing dot that we just are like, give me that.
We take it and then we come back later. It's like, oh, it's a cup now.
Yes, Da Vinci has a little machine. It goes, it spits out a chest. We kick open the chest. A cup comes flying out and smacks you in the face. Bonk.
Ah!
Put it with the rest.
Keep Amakusa away from it. Anakusa, as Suna has said.
Grammar. Spelling.
Grammar. Yeah, no. I had to call it out so you know that Suna got. But I do find it interesting that we call it, a holy grail, because there are several, like I was actually looking through this earlier. There are just several things that are, the ultimate things. Like we have Philosopher's Stones, the Chintamani Stone, fucking oh god, I can't think of the fucking Magatama from the Jewel, and Japanese and Japanese. There's a whole bunch of just, hey, this is it's not a weapon, but it's a really cool thingy. What does it do? We don't know. It's just really fucking cool.
It's really cool. It might grant your wish.
Yeah. So I don't know why we specifically harp on Holy Grail, but honestly, I think it's better saying Holy Grail is saying yes, this massive amounts of magical energy constantly in conversation everywhere.
When you wish upon a star, the lawsuit will find you no matter where you are.
Sir.
The flow was not great on that, but it was very funny in my head. Mm-hmm. We should play that robot rap game sometime. Again.
On the one in Jackbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played some Jackbox. Gartic Phone was fucking fun, though.
I'm gonna be down. I'll be down for more Gartic Phone. But
we'll find the time.
Moving on. Excuse me. This next one comes from the one who awaits the gotcha. For what? No one knows. Or, excuse me, nobody knows. They say, hello, Lucky Omega, wishing you both well wishes from little old Wales. Nice. For my question, I was just curious, as someone who's personally probably spends way too much time reading through the Type Moon material, books, and characters. Oh yeah, that's right. They actually just announced that they're coming out with the next FGO Matt's book.
Yeah, 9, I believe, has rolled out, and they've announced what 10 is.
Yeah.
Many people are posting images of Wadarko's funny summer melt sketches.
Yeah. Type Moon material, books, and character program. Has there ever been an ability or noble phantasm that particularly ensues in terms of what it does or how it can be used? Whether or not it's actually been used or just stated aside. If so, what did you find most interesting about it? Best look to you and both your upcoming future. Now the gotcha calls, so I must answer. Fades into dark mysteriously. No blank! Also, primordial runes. I love runes. Runes are great. They just do shit. Fucking servant, swimsuits. Make a boat? Fuck it. Just have a house? Runes. Runes do everything, yo.
It's runes, son. I don't gotta explain shit. I think I have that edit somewhere.
If not,
I also definitely have the edit from Arknights. It's art, so I don't have to explain shit. Which is also true. MacGuffins are like that. Yeah, I mean, no, you want me to, as a person who also digs through a lot of these, considering we have that whole sequence, Fanservant Friday, yeah, I don't know, a lot. Mostly it's just, there's a lot of interesting functionalities. I think I personally prefer, weird conceptual shit to just make sword beam. Not that sword beams aren't cool, but that's very commonly used, so, But yeah, not a lot. We probably yelled about them before.
Probably.
I do like to dive into lore a little when I do want it, so.
Lore is great. What else is great? Moving on, which we will. This next one comes from, I am not prepared in 2 years' time for LB6 to annihilate my wallet. There's just gonna be a lot of annihilation everywhere. Listen, we got summer right around the bend here, y'all. Greetings, Lucky Omega. How are you? How prepared are you for LB6 to annihilate your wallet, and which servant excites you the most from it? Koyaskaya.
That's not technically from Lost About 6, but that is the time frame.
That's the joke.
Morgan? Banner 1 probably gonna fuck my shit up the most, because that's the first one.
Yeah, honestly,
that's the one where you throw everything you have right now, and then it doesn't work, and then you're out of fucking shit for the next one.
Well, actually, what I find super interesting is that I know, the banners, month apart, but I find it interesting that there's another fucking Fey Knight, banner, so soon.
It's probably because they're story locks, so they've realized the story lock problem of, wanting you to roll a lot. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. We'll have to see how it shakes out. We also have to concern ourselves with the fact that we have to deal with the whole, moving everything up a month, basically. For Oberon, we don't need to worry about that, because he did fully come out after So it's entirely possible that the third part of
actually, now that I think about it, will that mean that we'll get all of LB6 before we actually hit anniversary?
We could, but we don't have to. Remember, some stuff only has to be moved up so much because they have to make for the GSSR, so that third drop with Oberon doesn't have to. I suspect that 1 and 2 will be closer together. Oops. Excuse me. But we'll have to see how they handle it. Like, they could have more lag between parts, whatchamacallit, 2 and 3. But, because Fairy Knight Lancelot is in a, GSSR somewhere, she has to come out regularly before we do anniversary. So, it's a whole thing.
The whole thing.
That's a very dangerous banner, too, because that's the second one when my juice is going to be spent, but it's really just the Lancelot one. Like, Percival's permanent. He's cool, but he's permanent. Listen. I got a lot of shit, guys.
Listen, I'm gonna need me a small dragon. I'm telling you. Listen, the first banner, I'm dead. I'm hopefully won't have to roll on Castoria. I really hope.
Yeah, we got that we solved that problem the first year.
Mm-hmm. But then it's, like I said, it's gonna be Lolly Lancelot. I'm just like, I'm gonna need it. And then I'm gonna have Coin Sky, and I'm just like, I need it! And then there's Oberon, and I'm like I said, right now, as of this recording right now, I'm met on Oberon. I like his art.
See what happens.
Like I said, because I like the artist. Shout out, I can't remember her name, but shout out to her, who actually genuinely has a fear of insects and did a fuck ton of research on insects to make this character work.
Yes, they did talk about that.
Yeah.
She's got, I think it's enmontophobia, or entomatophobia.
Yeah.
The insect, the fear of insects. Yeah. And he's got a little spooky bug arm. And his third ascension.
So, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Anyway, we're done. We're gonna move on to this last one, this last one comes from A Complete Mess. Bam. They say, just wanted to say, have a nice day, guys. Smiley face.
Smiley face back to you. You have a nice day.
Yeah. I snapped at the finger guns, but...
Yeah, we all did finger guns. Thumbs up, finger guns, everything. By the way, if you want to hear Omega talk more about bug hands, tune in tomorrow for What's Up, because I've been watching the Netflix She-Ra cartoon. Why, yes, Scorpia is the best. Anyway, I believe that's all our mail.
Yeah!
Yay! Lucky's slightly more enthusiastic than me because he's 3 hours in the past.
Mm-hmm. I think I just have more energy than you in general, my dude.
It depends on the context, but yeah, sometimes, certainly. Oh, stretchy. I definitely slept kind of weird and groggy today.
Lucky did not have the best sleeps.
Though you also... You're doing this show on performance-enhancing substances, I think. You cracked something open earlier. Did you crack open a can of water?
I can't do an announcer, but who's the person who lives on coffee here?
Listen, just because I need coffee. I've only had 1 cup of coffee today.
Yeah, that's a you problem, then. You can get more.
Can I get more, though?
Yes.
Actually, I don't know. Do we have another thing of milk? We gotta be careful. We drink a lot of milk in this house. Yes, I know. That is a me problem. I make coffee with milk.
I mean, I do milk and usually a flavor syrup.
It's how I was learned.
I stopped using, creamer, years ago, and sugar. It's no.
I think, actually, proper cream is supposed to be slightly healthier for you, but you have to, brew the coffee the traditional way and then add the creamer. Or the creamer, I should say, not the creamer.
I would get, a traditional drip. That'd be cool.
We should work on that. We can become cool coffee guys.
Listen, my dream is to live the fucking, Sojiro life of just having a sweet cafe that's just yeah, this is my food, this is my drink. I'm classy as fuck. Then I'm gonna throw anime titties all over the place. Hell yeah. I know what I'm about.
The Anime Titty Cafe. Got it.
I could call it that.
I'm gonna turn that into well, no, I don't have to do that. You would do that if we ever get around to Night's Black Agents. That'll be an NPC. You guys can go hang out in the Anime Titty coffee bar and talk about killing vampires. And then when the vampires attack, the guy behind the counter just pulls the shotgun out. I'll make that a VC name? Yeah, I'll do it right now. We'll make the useless one less useless.
But we are officially done with mailbag. We are now in Chaldea Free Talk. Let's start this off with, I know it's technically at the bottom. Let's start this off with Summer 4, though, I think.
Alright. If you want to just jump to it, we can do that.
Like I said, stretchy. So, as of this moment, I'm in the middle of doing Casino 6. I just recruited Moriarty, and now I'm gathering more chips. I think I'm getting up to, 180 million?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And
it's a lot. And by the way, I do want to throw out it's pointless. Moriarty's just like, I knew you would get the QP. Let's do the plan. I don't think that has anything to do with the plan, is having the extra QP.
Like, oh my god.
Please, game, calm down.
So, you heard me bitching about this earlier. Overall, I enjoy this event. I really do. I'm really sick of farming QP right now. I really am.
The escalating ramp up, especially between the Cirque du whatever, the Circus Casino, which is obviously a Cirque du Soleil reference. Very popular shows in Vegas. And then to Casino Camelot. It's big. It's huge. It's meaty.
Yeah.
I talked about this myself. I had a big run up myself. Like, I was trying to like jam all the event stuff before this. I literally couldn't. I had to it took me several hours to get the QP to beat all of Casino Camelot, so I couldn't actually do the little postscript bits and defeat the final boss until earlier today.
And so this is the thing that's I definitely think it's filming. It's like honestly to me, this QP, while it is nice I get to spend this QP on fucking, stuff, which will probably last me a single skill buy up as I try to get my passion lip to 10, 10, 10. Because honestly, I've been realizing the passion lip, you're actually really good at what you do. Holy shit, girl. I was no, I'm not people was oh, you're farming that QP. I'm yeah, I could have literally spent the exact same amount of effort in the QP mines with my rider teaming, basically got the same effect. Because even at these where I am right now, I think my best one is the Circus Casino, it's 375k. I'm usually pulling out anywhere between 1 to 2 million out of that at a time, which is with CEs, which is about the same amount I get out of daily. So not much different. I'm spending the same amount of MP. The only difference is I'm progressing doors, QP mines, whatever. I'm progressing about the same amount. So while this gets good for my ending, it's actually not going anywhere. I just am now forced to do it. So yeah, like I said, I'm a little upset about that. But other than that, I love this event. Writing, super goo. Honestly, that's all there is to this. It's farming QP and doing events.
Yeah, there are side quest bits as well, but yeah, it's it. It's you farm QP. If you farm enough fucking QP, you have enough currency to buy the letters. I get why they did it for the plot relevance, but they probably shouldn't have bothered making you spend the currency, because you just you have the currency anyway. But overall the writing though is really slick.
Oh, later VIP and Comlink gives 3 million. I will say I can three turn a fucking 40 AP door thing. I don't know if I'm necessarily gonna be able to 3 turn easily the VIP Camelot thing. So time and money and whatnot.
Yeah, it's gonna strongly depend on what kind of shit you can get access to. So, it depends. But yeah. So, it's a very well written event. We can't obviously talk about the overall story because Lucky's not quite there yet. But
nope.
We've added a couple new casinos. Okita's casino kind of was next.
Kind of. It was literally 2 pips, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very short. So we hear about the Rakugo Casino, the underground one, and then we immediately discover that it's run by the Demon Casino King. It's Nobu.
It's Avenger Nobu, by the way.
Yes.
I think they are just keeping Avenger Nobu in this shit. It's interesting.
Yeah, for that one anyway. There's a funny post-credit thing where regular Archer Nobu comes back and Nobukatsu is small older sister, and she's don't call me that. I know there's another version of me who's larger in more ways than one, but don't do that. Stop it. I love that, one, Okita calls out that it's a little Gouda Gouda, but I love that they sprinkle in that little bit of Gouda Gouda energy. It's very meta. You've got the whole thing going on, but they set you up this whole thing to do what literally every other casino does, where you have to beat up all of Nobu's sub-bosses to fight her, and so you split up and stuff. And it doesn't matter because Jet Okita has killed not killed, but beat up all of them already.
Super fast.
Because she's got a jetpack now.
Thanks, Double X.
Yes. And then they do have some non-battle segments where they go, very long about they go through the whole thing of, why Okita is jet-powered now. There's some very funny stuff that happens because she thinks she only has a few days left to live, with the reactor in her body, so she's prioritizing rushing into Las Vegas, beating everybody up, and realizing that she's also a swimsuit swordmaster, and then you fight. Yeah.
Then you fight.
And then she loses, and she thinks she's gonna die, so she jetpacks up into the sky. It's very great. It's very sad. And then Double X shows up, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's no problem. I forgot to convert my time zones correctly. You've actually got enough power for hundreds of years. You're fine.
Also, you're a servant.
Yeah, even if you did actually run out of power and die, it doesn't matter." And then Okita gets very embarrassed because we did the whole thing.
That blushing Okita sprite is the best. It's good.
It's very strong. Very strong.
Power.
But then it's done. It's over.
Get on. Move on.
Ooh, yep. No.
You see, I'm literally half that.
This is literally the comment of, well, Robin works and stuff. Might have time to free farm to time. Whatever. I'm not even gonna bother. But no, we've posted an image. Robin has posted an image contrasting how much QP he has with what his QP point counter is. They are not the same. There is a 0 missing from the. There's a whole hundreds place, a whole decimal missing from the version of QP that Robin currently has, versus how much he's earned. Then we also have that great copy of that Okita sprite. Summer Okita's design is pretty rad, by the way. Mm-hmm. They use one of her later ascensions in a story event where she explains that the thing she's wearing, it's not a jersey or a Haiori, it's both. I call it jewelry. And just everybody's like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, it's really good, and like I said, they do actually do a lot of side quests with Okita. She gets into that fight with Izo over slashing watermelons. And she has some post-story stuff. But yeah, her casino is definitely the shortest. I'm gonna guess it's because that based on Okita's like character design, because it was by Takeuchi, I'm assuming they knew a long time in advance, right?
I'm pretty sure the moment that Okita was bitching about her swimsuit, they actually had a swimsuit design. Yeah,
they assuredly had the concept art and shit done. So I'm gonna guess that probably what happened was that they didn't have a good way for Okita with a jetpack to fit into the normal casino system. So they just came up with the excuse that, Nobu set up a fake casino because the Lion King of the Desert was like, nah, you're not in a swimsuit and have a sword. So,
which is weird because there is a fucking swimsuit. There is a swimsuit Nobu, and she has an axe.
Yeah. I don't feel like Summer Nobu actually appears. Maybe that's the joke. Maybe it's the joke that despite this being a summer event, Summer Nobu doesn't actually show up at any point. They use regular Nobu and Avenger Nobu.
That's weird.
Yeah. But no, like, I'm gonna assume it ended up basically in the design. They were like, okay, we don't know what we're gonna do. We'll just throw Demon King Nobu in because it's a fresh joke and we can make more Gouda references, and we'll just power through it that way. Kind of continue the storyline, which is good. But like you said, it's very short. It's very rapid, and then you go to Casino Camelot. No, you go to Cirque de whatever, Jean's Casino,
which is a trip.
Yeah. That could also be the thing, is they had to compact down Okita's because Jean's section is very long and very good. Because Jean's Casino appears to be a reference to shows by way of not just like music performances and stuff, which are very popular, but also shit like Cirque du Soleil and play performances and like. So she's got a big stage run by Mephistopheles, because of course it is.
That fucking jump sound effect, though.
Yes. Which appears to be an ongoing series of completely nonsense adventures of Jean Dalter, Lily, and Rhyme and Jack just have nonsense adventures, which have the little play border from Salem around them. It's pretty fun.
A little cute.
Yeah, it's pretty goo. So it's nice, but from there we move on to like you actually you see the performance, that's really cool, and then you're like, okay, we got to go talk to Jean, and then who is it? Somebody's like, you don't want to do that, that's dangerous. Who is it actually?
I know Marie shows up, but Marie really doesn't stop you. She's like, oh goody.
Yeah, there's Marie and Dion. Anyway, you run into some ancillary characters who are kind of like, don't do that, you don't want to do that, and we're like, nah, we do, and they're like, okay. You asked for it. And then you run into Jean.
Well, no, I think the best thing about this is everyone was all like, this is totally not going to go according to plan. Are you sure you want to do this? Because I don't think it was necessarily someone else. I think it was just our own group.
That could be true. There was a lot of doubt because once again, Hokusai is like, I don't have the letter, but I don't give a shit. Rawr.
I'm gonna go fight him, and we're just like, and everyone's just like, there's no way this is gonna just happen like that.
Yeah. Basically, she's just like, she's basically incredibly cockney right now. It's like, oi, Mike, you wanna go? I'll cut ya. Swear me Toto-sama. Just unsheathes all 4 swords, and you're like, really? Really? And then it never works. Literally never works. I think the only time you don't actually is Casino Camelot. This is like the one time that you're actually able to be like, whoa, Hokusai, calm down. We can't defeat these Aloha Knights. They're in our way. We got a plan.
They're giving off auras.
We got to plan this shit. Then again, maybe it's because you have all your supporting cast as well. Like, I think Melt like is like, nah, I'm gonna go to the pool. I don't need to be here on this stage. I'm fine.
Well, actually, I want to mention that does actually happen a fair amount of times where you do have your crew, but everyone's like, nah, I'm gonna go do my own thing. Like, and like Carmella's like, nah, I don't get on stage. Osakabe Hime's like, no, I am way too fat. And you're like, you ain't fat, girl. And he's like, to you, maybe.
Yeah.
And hecking, Kotaro never goes on stage. He ninja.
Yeah.
He a good boy though.
And Melt is like, you're not paying me enough to appear on stage. If Melt's even there and not in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but you go backstage, you meet Jean, and you immediately run into the problem that her casino superpower is that she is Big Sister
and has a shark.
Yes, also that terrifies everybody. She's got
immediate retreat.
She's got Risi XP. What did she call it? Yeah, I think
Risi just Risi X. Yeah, just EX.
Yeah, EX. Okay, I knew there was an X in there somewhere. And then like while you're waiting, and then you just like, she's got a fucking flying shark flee. I love how this freaks out Melt too. She's like, it doesn't matter what sea creature she commands, it's fine. And then later you're like, Melt, what the fuck with the shark? And she's like, that's not a creature of the sea anymore, man. It left, man. I can't do anything about that. I'm just imagining Melt like pointing with one of her sleevey hands, being like, that thing is not a sea creature, okay? Doesn't count. Doesn't fucking count. So everybody skedaddles, but then Jean catches up to you and she tries to brainwash you again, and it's really bad because she's fuckling your mind and you're like, no, she is Big Sister, and this makes it hard for you to fight her for some reason and do the fight properly.
Well, it's like, little brothers need to listen to their big sisters and whatnot.
Yeah. So you're like, oh no, we can't possibly let her complete her brainwashing. We must flee more. And then we get on out of there. And then, like I said, we do the thing that you always do, which is you go there, you immediately fuck it up, and you're like, okay, we need a plan for this. So you need to recruit new people. So you have to, she has you use your Mystic Code skills to help her out. Which I guess that is a decent threat, right? Like, if your master can't help your servants, it's not gonna work out. So from there, right, we go back, we do the thing we classic do, which is, gee, what servant could we get that would solve this problem? What's stronger than Big Sister? Mother. Mother's better. Okay. We also need a servant brave enough to fight a fucking shark.
So a berserker.
Yeah, somebody crazy.
So we need a crazy and a mama. And we're just all like, you just know, like, Mash, and I just love that moment of Mash and the Master. He's like, you know they're thinking, and they're just like, we know somebody.
We know somebody. So you go outside and flag down Kentucky.
Yep. Golden Boy, you give him the secret handshake.
Yes. Who has arrived on his motorbike with Tamamo again. She's just like hanging on. Tama Lancer is here.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to help you out with some stuff. You punch some wyverns, which aren't actually wyverns, they're chickens. Thanks. And then you talk to Kentucky, and he's like, okay, I think this plan will work. The boss is definitely here, but you're gonna need to, like, get her to be, like, mother mode, but not, like, Shadow Prefect mode at the same time. And so she got a whole complex plan.
Well, yeah, because apparently they explained it if you go to mother mode, she'll revert back to her berserker form and then she just won't let you fight. She'll be like, no, you can't fight. I must protect my boy.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so you gotta, like, find the careful balance. So you go see her, it's great, and Tamamo is like, oh, don't you worry, Master. Tamamo will take care of everything. And we're immediately like, I don't like this plan anymore. This is a dangerous plan.
It wasn't that bad.
No, Tamamo just does her her catty Tamo gossip. And is like, because like at first it works. You're like, I need mother energy, and she goes full mom, and she's like, no, you can't fight. It's perfectly okay. It's fine. And then Tamo's like, yes, of course, Lady Raiko, take care of everything yourself. Me and Master are gonna go back and hit the pool. We're all gonna go hit the pool and hang out in our swimsuits and nothing else.
Well, she also infers that might be go skinny dipping too.
Yeah, she even makes a skinny dipping joke in there. I was trying to remember that. And then Raiko just is like, whoop. It's like Kill Bill sirens. And then Tamo's like, and now I will escape. Tamo smoke bomb.
I do like that how she's not like, hey, but she was like, Tamo at the end was like, though, if you do want to hang out, Master, my room's always open. And Master was like,
what was that?
What did Tamo and you're just like, nope, look away, just like deflect.
Yes. What did Tamo say to you just then? I didn't hear it. Nope. Not touching that. And then she just flees. And then after you fight, Raiko's like, all right, yes, I will upgrade myself back, because she goes a little shadow prefect, and then she switches back. Because I think it was she had hat on first, and then she went Sailor Fuku, and then she goes back to just her bikini. I think is how that worked. There's a lot of fun playing around with Ascensions in this. That's pretty neat. And then she follows you to the casino. Oh yeah, well, you got sucked into the performance and had to fight your way out that way, I believe.
Yeah, there was a bit of improv.
Yeah, you did some improv. It was very funny and weird. So you go back, so you arrange the main stage, and Mephistopheles is like, yo, you want to do this on the center stage? And we're like, yeah. It's how we do this. And so you fight. Raiko also acts as a mentor to Hokusai, teaching her more about fighting people.
Hokusai getting her level ups.
Yeah. Yes. Work on her technique and everything. And so it turns into, the old Wombo combo, the old 1-2. Like we said earlier, I believe this was on mic, but it might have been pre-show. We joked about her throwing the Reese shark away in a tornado.
They do make a reference to now it's a movie.
Yes. And then John thinks that Raiko's gonna get her, but actually it's an excuse for Hokusai to bust out the tour of waterfalls. I do like that this is how every fight concludes, right? Like, every time she does the chant, she lists the provinces, and then they do a little animation.
I do like the super amount of shark jokes in this.
That's even Hokusai's intro line?
Yeah. When they say samurai, that's because samurai means shark in Japanese. Actually, if you notice it, John actually has a slightly different sprite where her bag actually has some red stripes on it and has samurai on it as well. Yeah, I believe they redrew it slightly. Yes. Yep. As you said. Yeah. So there's some funny little stuff in there, but then it's there it is. It's over now. Mm-hmm. You boop her and you go home, and then you're like, "There's only one left." Yeah. Woo. Raiko was shouting out a lot of mother stuff: Mother Beam, Mother Slash, Mother. Yeah, breath. Like because One's older sister Beam comes back, and then Raiko's like, "No, I will defeat this Mother Laser." And then John is like, "What the fuck?" I do want to find hilarious because in the big fight she also brings out both the John Alters, and they've clearly been brainwashed. Yes. Yeah. And it's funny after that John's like, "Oh no, you're not my little brother. You're by blood." And it's like she's not letting go, and it's just like, oh my god, it's hilarious. Summer John is just hijinks. It's like shenanigans and hijinks. Yeah. Also, shout out to John Alters seeing Hokusai's 4 swords. It's just like, I'm gonna go find a tree growing katana. Lucky, have you seen the side quest with Jolter yet? No. What is it called? I don't remember. Guys, if you can find me the quest name, let me know. There's a side quest bit where, shockingly, Jolter and Adelante Alter get along famously, and it's hilarious. Because they've both lost everything at gambling, and they go to get drunk in Moriarty's bar, and they drag you along. That's all you need to know. It's great. That's great. Actually, I think I might have it unlocked, because I think there's one that's based at the... I haven't done yet, because I've been trying to focus on getting through story. Yeah, there are a couple of side stories, and even more of them open up in the part 2 bit. But it's pretty funny. But yeah, so then everything gets broken up, and it's pretty good. Like I said, then you have the big climb to the next casino, and then, like I said, I'm in the middle of fighting Mordred and all them right now. But You go to Camelot.
It's pretty complex, you know? There's a lot of moving parts to this. It's very Ocean's 11, right? Like, you literally, after discovering what you're up against, which is the Bunny Lion King never comes out of the VIP area, basically. So, and it's blocked by all of her Aloha Knights. So you gotta get rid of them. Yes. Who are dealers at who run the tables at the casino and are surrounded by women constantly.
Which is, well, I don't want to say this actually a fact, like I said, actual fucking casinos, it's just a fucking matter, but I will tell you, anytime we, like, have I told this story before? I'm pretty sure I've told this story before. Working at a casino, fucking how batshit crazy women get anytime we have, like, male stripper shows or anything. Like, no.
You might have.
I probably have. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the assumption I have, so yes, no, it's like, yes, I saw this, I'm like, yes, this tracks.
Yep. Okay,
I do have that one unlocked. A Loser's Lullaby, I have that one unlocked, I have not done it yet.
Yes. You'll do it before next week. You'll have a great time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there's, like we said, this whole, you know, long drawn out thing. You realize you can't beat them individually. You got to plan for every account, and you're like, there's even I believe it's a non-battle pip where you're like, let's look around and listen to everybody. So, you know, you kind of see how the knights interact. You see that Moriarty's tending bar here. There's a very funny interaction where Holmes shows up and is like drinking at the bar, and Moriarty's making chit chat, and Holmes is like, dude, I'm trying to solve the mysteries of the world here. Could you shut up? And Moriarty's like, yes, I see. Security? Holmes just like, oh, bollocks. By the way, I don't think this is a spoiler. That never comes up again, by the way. When you see Holmes again later, he doesn't mention that he took a jaunt to the Singularity. But yeah,
I guess he just doesn't want to admit that Moriarty got one over on him.
Probably. It you know, not directly, but through indirect, because he's the bartender. He's in the staff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's there's this whole complexity. You recruit everybody. You see Scotty there, by the way. You go through the whole rigmarole, and then like you're on right now the part where you're gathering the individual pieces. It's very funny how you address each individual knight, which, by the way, you do, because I won't say this is a spoiler. But Moriarty explains why you fight them one-on-one, which is that you guys don't get to show off to the ladies if you all come at us at once. Haha! And they're like, gasp, he's on to us. We're Aloha Knights right now. Which they never explain, by the way. They just keep saying it, and you're just like, this is in capital letters. I think this is supposed to mean something.
It doesn't.
But it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything.
I was actually going to mention that, Carlos. I was going to mention that, yeah. We actually do call out that we still haven't gotten Summer Nights yet.
Yes, another new term. I also want to shout out Tyrone does. This is our first opportunity for Gareth and Mordred to interact with each other, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Because Gareth is the older sister, even though she's the literal second youngest. But you know, with a squad comprised of men like Gawain and Agravain, that those guys didn't have nothing. They were all blockheads growing up, just total jocks. Don't know nothing from nothing. Gawain can't even cook potatoes properly. How does he do that?
Boil them, mash them, stick it in the stew.
Yeah, he's bad at that part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a fun little bit because like Gareth is like, gasp, Mordred, language, and Mordred's just like, I'm dying. I'm dying inside. I have to deal with Jekyll again, and my sister, and my dad, who is also taller and has bigger tits now, and is dressed like a bunny for some reason. And then you just come along and she's like, what's that? You want to cause a ruckus?
I'm down with treachery. And Gareth's like, no, I am not down with treachery, but it's coming along with us.
Gareth's reasoning is adorable, but she's like, clearly something is wrong with these guys. This Aloha Knight thing is like a curse. I wanted to see what was up, and it's really weird. Like, because this is the first time Gareth has interacted. Well, it's not really, because she got cameoed for like a hot second at Servafez, but that was different. I think this is Gareth's first time like being actually in the weirdness of a summer event and realizing how fucking weird it is. This event is like extra weird. Well, I mean, at no point do they bother to actually explain what some of this stuff means. Like, everybody keeps talking about what it means to be a servant, a swimsuit sword master, or a sword beauty, and it just keeps going in circles.
I do like how this is campily lampshaded by Gordolf, who's just like, what is happening here?
Yeah, this is Gordolf's official first canon summer event, and he's just like, guys, what the fuck is happening right now?
And Da Vinci's just like, don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it.
Yeah, she's just like, no, what Da Vinci is doing is she's like, swimsuit, huh? You know she's, because now that we know she's gonna come out, you know she's planning for the future. She's just thinking to herself, and Holmes is too busy sneaking in to get drunk in casinos.
Also smoking, I think.
Yes, smoking his pipe. Thinking about cocaine.
That quartz dust. Yeah, he's like, I'm literally gonna go make French toast. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, he's like, this is too much for me. I'm gonna go make French toast.
I should make French toast. I love French toast. Yeah.
Toast. Yeah, so I love how there is this, because we have these external perspectives, right? We have this meta commentary on, summer events are really weird, aren't they? You know? Like, they don't really make any sense. They're just an excuse for swimsuits. But you fucking love, like, then it turns around, it's like, but you love it. You love it. You want more. And we're like, yes, I want more. It's really funny. It's good. We'll talk about how everything slaps together at the end.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jekyll, Mordred, and Gareth have been beat. I'm now in cutscene again. Bonk. I gave him the bonk. Musashi continues to just destroy everything.
That is usually how I've been solving this event. Yes, I have level 90 NP2 Musashi with a damage CE. It covereth a multitude of sins. And actually, they don't. Other than you getting your revenge on Double X, I don't think they really make you fight the foreigners much. Which obviously makes sense because that was kind of a big deal with the last event. So it makes sense that they don't show up as much. Mm-hmm. But it means that Berserker Musashi is free to yell about how much of a beautiful woman she is.
She yells that a lot. Listen, I do love it that anytime I beat a battle and I just hear Musiku Daisuki, I'm just like, that gives me joy a little bit inside. Just every time I hear it.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is the beautiful thing about summers, whether it's costumes or actual separate servants. Because yes, I have noticed while using support Siegfried and occasionally my own that now he sometimes just shouts out Megane Kiran when he does a skill. Yes, I noticed.
Oh, great!
Like
Love it.
Because the summers are usually like a little more fun and loose and a little sillier. Like the voice actors get to cut loose a little bit themselves and kind of broaden their range a little.
Mm-hmm.
And Sakurai Ayane has a lot of experience being summers because this is her second one.
Yep. Like I said, it's so weird just thinking about how she's also made. It's just like, yeah, no, this is like two completely different vibes. Yeah.
She doesn't do too much to change her pitch, but their forms of address and speaking are way different. Like Maeve is almost always like cutesier, and
he has a cutesier Ojo-sama kind of way.
Yeah, the Ojo like she's more formal, refined, a little cutesy. Like, gosh, I'm just dear old sweet Maeve. I'm definitely not going to murder you with a giant bull. Maeve beam, haha. Whereas normal Musashi is hello, I am Mutamoto Musashi. Have you heard about the good word of sword? Like, she is a focused martial arts action character. Lots of yelling, stuff like that. Also very boastful of herself, though. And then Summer Musashi is just like, yeehaw.
Yeehaw, I'm horny on main.
Everybody's horny, it's summer.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever stops being horny. Listen, we could go all kinds of places with, like, Jean's last gasp of, I admit, we're not related by blood.
By blood.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. I'll be eager to dig into the post-game stuff. Like I said, I have not had time to do all the reverse thing for all the extra NP copies and whatever. And I am hunting. I have seen people using Musashi's extra skin. I'm hunting. I'm going for the costume. So I'll be ready to talk about that. Lucky, I'm sure we'll be done with all of the stuff now.
Yeah, no, I'm plugging along. I haven't been putting as much time as I should have been. I've been playing Destiny Child and Near Reincarnation a bit on the side,
mm-hmm.
and putting in my FF14 time. But like I said, right now,
like I'm literally only like a couple hours ahead of you, and for similar reasons, I've been balancing a lot of projects lately. So yeah, that's typo. But we will be back for I think our final summer thoughts. That's usually how summer kind of goes because it's really fucking long. Like I was like, wait, I got concerned. The other day I was like, when does this event end? And I'm like, oh, okay. It's like another week. Okay, it's fine. Like, I completely lost track of, like, how much time this event is, you know? So there's plenty of time to talk about. JP will pop along. We'll have plenty of stuff to go for. All right, so let's see. Well, with that in mind, do you think we should jump into Welfare Corner first, or should we talk about Oberon?
Let's go summer to summer, so welfare, I say.
All right. Welfare Corner.
Da, da, da.
This one's going to be kind of short because after Liz, I think they learned their lesson about Welfare Sabers. So we're going to discuss Hokusai Saber now. She's on the lower attack, higher HP side, though not as much as Santa Carna Punch. He's even more HP, even less attack. She has a quick Arts Buster deck, which is kind of different for Sabers. Higher hit counts, especially on her NP. So her NP gain by default is a bit lower. I think she's like, I mentioned this earlier, she's like 0.4 something. Mm-hmm. Which, she has a 4-hit Arts cards and 2 of them plus an NP. That's not bad, but it's definitely slower.
Yeah.
So her NP, a tour of waterfalls in various provinces. I love it. Also, it's actually funny because I believe this study of waterfalls was actually completed after the 36 views of Mount Fuji. From the notes in her profile. Yes. But yeah, it's a single target arts. It has 8 hits, which makes sense. I do believe there are like 8 waterfalls. Also, octopus. And the only thing it does is it boosts her NP damage first based on overcharge. Default is 30%. Max is 70%. It's a lot of extra NP damage. So her first skill is a humble 10 to 20% battery and 10 to 20 stars. Yay. Stars.
It gets you started.
Yeah, it's a good starter. Gets you ramped up. Mm-hmm. Spoilers in case you couldn't tell from that, quick angle. She wants to do arts crits is what we're looking for here. Mm-hmm. Arts crits, so you can NP spam more NP. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Second skill is a 1 to 2k guts for 3 turns, which I will say has been useful a couple of times versus bosses with break bars. And it also increases her star absorption for 3 turns. Again, she wants the crits. Give her the stars.
Yes. Slurp.
Hokusai is like, your stars, my stars. And then her final skill is just a 20 to 30% arts for 3 turns and a special on-hit buff for 3 turns, where if she lands a critical hit, so if her attack is a crit, she gives herself 10 to 20% critical up for 3 turns, so it turns into a whole spiral thing, you know? The more she crits, the more she crits. Yes, kind of. This kit is very similar to Lancelot's. I don't think her values are quite as crazy as Lancelot's, but you get a free NP5, and her hit counts on her NP are way fucking higher. Lancelot's like 2, I think, on Arendite Overload. It also does slightly extra stuff, but yeah, hers is just apply sword. Sword face. Her passives are just magic resistant C and Divinity E. Like, Saber Hokusai is incredibly straightforward. She is an arts crits DPS. Her NP gain is slightly low, so you compensate with battery or NP gain machines. I would like to point out, Paracelsus is free, y'all. You probably have him. He's very good at giving NP gain and even more arts up. Tommo, of course, slots in perfectly as well. And basically, you keep feeding her critical stars, she'll just keep critting and NPing until the enemy is dead. It works pretty well in this event because she, goes ham on bosses, and it's pretty spiced. And in fact, I do have a note about strategy here. You may even actually want to... Yeah, Mozart is also a decent one, especially after his upgrade later for that arch resistance thing. He's got a very, very huge star bomb. I think that's... I have to look, but I think Noct Music is a little extreme for a single servant. If you're trying to do like Brave Chains, but I don't know. She's got a star weight buff. It's a big deal. But yeah, it's also another very common servant you could use. But yeah, like I said, you may even want to actually delay firing her NP so you can get extra overcharge levels with those free NP5s. Because it's quite spicy at max level. It's 70% NP damage up for 1 turn. It's pretty good, considering you're presumably using her to beat up Lancers. But like other than that, she's really simple. Blue cards go burr. I don't really know about any complex commentary. Like to throw in some extra spice in there, Welfare Corner style. Spoiler, all of the cool art CEs that have like 50% battery are also like summer themed CEs and stuff. Dive to Blue is the arts crit one that's 50%. Also the Hokusai CE from Summer 3 is also like, I think arts and NP strength and 50% starting battery. It's goo. It's pretty goo. Go with that.
Love it.
There's a lot of fun one. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really think there is a, like, crazy need to go out there. Like, just look at your CEs, find an arts crit, go with it. It's good. That's what she's good for. Just pilot the appropriate level of servant support in there. And honestly, as pointed out, while you don't get crazy art support until Castoria, like, no offense to Tomo, Tomo is good, but she is not crazy.
I said she's stall meta.
Yeah. Considering that she was an early game unit supporting arts, and even though she has had some buffs to, like, catch her up to later units, her kit is still basically fundamentally the same. It's, don't die, please do NP. Stop dying and use your NP, you cowards, Tomo yells from the back row.
Honestly, is there anything else you really need?
No, not really. I mean, that... And considering that, like, Jean was a launch arts unit, and what we had, that was just how the arts meta was. It was just, you'll kill your enemy eventually. You'll get those NPs in. But yeah, so, like, there is a fairly decent wealth of early game art support that will do the thing that Hokusai wants to do. She will crit, and then she will NP, and then she'll crit and NP some more. It's fine. Yeah, no, that was me. That Tomo is usually support, but that was me. Gee, we're down to Mash John and Tomo, so we're going to be here for a while. I don't think I ever actually hit 3-digit turns, but I had some very, very long fights in the first couple of years of FGO, guys.
Oh, no, I think it was in fucking Prison Tower. I actually did hit, like over 100 turns.
Some of those Prison Tower fights are like that, yeah. It's long, my dudes. But, Hokusai will be very effective in that. But yeah, like I said, I don't really have anything extra to add. She is a swimsuit, so it's not like there's any cool lore tidbits. I mean, there is a little. You see this in her profile. She talks about how the idea is that it's one of those weird, like, sliding scale things. Like, Summer Hokusai is supposed to be very Chuuni, but also still being her, like, she is physically still her adult self that is the time period from when she was supporting her father, Katsushika Hokusai.
I do love how everyone else is constantly referencing how she is going to regret everything she's been saying later.
Yes.
I'm hoping for this.
Yes. She's, like, very extra and over the top and a little bit childish, but she's still, like, they go out of their way to point out that she's still technically her mature self. She's just having, like, it's summer, so she's having, like, a childish, throwback moment. Like, her first skill, Divine Power Inc., is, like, being obsessed with fairy tale stories about, like, Chinese alchemy and potions and stuff. She's being really extra right now. But it mentions that because she's being extra, she actually buys into, because she mentions this a couple times, what was apparently more of an urban legend about Hokusai being descended from the Kira family retainers, actual samurai. That was kind of one of those rumors that the original Hokusai spread around. I don't know anything about the context of the family he's referring to, but apparently there was some, like, mystery or drama in there, so it's one of those, classic, like, slide in for rep things. That's a little bit of a fun extra detail, but, being a summer version of a normal servant, it's not very, not very extra details of the lore, It be how it be, as we say. Excuse me while I scratch my nose real quick.
The itch, it gets them.
Yeah. I mean, we've been going for, like, 2.5 hours without a break. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. We're all just wrapping the show.
We're almost done.
Yeah, so let's talk Oberon. This is New Servant Deets Just Pretending edition. I was merely pretending. So Oberon is our first pretender, so we really have nothing to base him on. Lucky joked earlier, he's the best. He has the best attack and HP, and Lucky's not wrong. It's correct. He does, in fact, have the best attack and HP of the pretenders, because it's just him. Now, if you want to, like, compare him to other similar extra class SSRs and stuff, he looks like he's in the style of the slightly low attack, higher HP bracket, but not crazy in either way. Like, he doesn't have, like, more HP than John, or, Ganesha, or, more attack than Kualter or something. He's in there, somewhere. He's got a quick arts buster deck. Did you guess that? Did you theorize that in any way? I believe Pretender base damage is just 1x. I can double check that for you. He appears to, as the only Pretender, we can only assume. We believe that he has, average star absorption. His star weight is around 100, which is the smack middle. It's not as good as, like, some of the other extra classes or riders for sure, but it's not, like Berserker low or anything. And has good star generation. His star generation rate is 20%. That's not as high as Assassins. Assassins are around 25, but it's still good. And considering that he's, got 2 quicks and 2 busters, that's pretty good. Though, that said, these numbers can drift a little. Like, I think that, like, Abigail's star weight and star gen are a little different than, like, Hokusai's. They're not quite lined up. So, you never know how the class will shake out, right? And yes, I was right. Pretenders have a base damage multiplier of 1x. So, good old flat damage. Except, there's almost not a class that they do flat damage to. I think it's just the Ruler, Avenger, Moon Cancer triangle. Because, as noted, the full list of strengths and weaknesses for Pretender is... Pretenders do double damage to alter egos and take half damage. They take foreigners take half damage from Pretenders and deal double damage back. So classic, the classic class advantage. Sabers, Archers, and Lancers take 1.5 damage from Pretenders, and then Riders, Casters, Assassins take half damage from them. Berserkers, as always, take double damage but deal 1.5 damage back. So it's not a perfect analogy, because Berserker damage is still the same, but it's also still the same, so it's fine. This is good if they have mixed notes, But so let's actually talk about his kits. Where were we? He has slightly high NP gain and decent hit counts, which is good because he only got 1 arts card. Like, it's like a 4 hit count, but they still gave him like 0.6, I think, so they're obviously compensating for the fact that he has 1. It's almost like FGO has kind of learned how this works over the years. So his NP is an AoE Buster, which is a pretty decent start, Lucky earlier talked about how Passion Lip, for instance, is very good at what she does, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is kind of the same thing. That's a pretty good starting point for a class that has multi-target class advantage. It deals bonus damage to lawful enemies, which is a decent number of alter egos and knights. Lip, Lip I think is neutral good, or lawful neutral, sorry. And Melt and King Prody are both lawful good. So yeah, it's a decent chunk. It will not help you with Kiara. Mechaliz is lawful good too, I believe, as well. So it's got a decent spread. It also removes their offensive buffs, so offensive buffs go away, and puts them to sleep for 1 turn. If you guys don't remember, sleep is a new buff debuff that was introduced with Summer Abigail. It is like a stun, but the stun immediately ends if the enemy is hit with an attack. However, that doesn't matter for Oberon, because he also gives them 1 turn of invincible. So the sleep sticks. Don't do Oberon's NP as your first card unless the wave is over. Or you have Pierce Invuls on the backup. It's a little bit weird, but I understand why. It makes sure the sleep sticks and you can still hit enemies to like charge NP and stuff. His first skill is a targetable, no, it's actually party-wide, that's right. Party-wide, 20% battery, and party-wide 10 to 20-30% NP damage up for 3 turns. Pretty basic support slot shit. Here, you get a battery and you get some NP damage. Go.
Oh.
That's right. The second skill is the targeted battery. It gives a targeted ally 30-50% battery, but after 1 turn, removes 20% battery. I think the idea here is that between his 2 batteries, your ally has enough to NP immediately, and then the fact that you lose 20% doesn't matter. However, it will probably mean that you can't use Oberon for funny haha loop strats unless you get a lot of NP back. Because I assume this stacks, which means if you did double Oberon, you'd be losing 40%.
Oof.
So, yeah. I kind of like what they're going. Like, he's very balanced. Like, you can do some funny stuff, but you can't do any abusable stuff.
It's like he's lying to people or something.
Yeah. It also does a 10 to 20 star bomb. Pretty standard. Now, his final skill is a doozy. 1 targeted ally gets 30-50% buster for 1 turn, and a new buff, which is called NP Damage Boost. It multiplies the value of NP damage up buffs 50 to 100%. So, yeah, whatever that NP damage up would be, it's multiplied by that level, between 1.5 to full 2x. Which, remembering he already has a party record again.
Yay.
Yeah, okay. I think we're fine.
Yay.
The sound waves look a little small for some reason, but it's fine. We'll work it back. Maybe we're just being softer than we were. I can't always have my on today's episode energy. Alright, that looked appropriate. Yeah, okay, that's it. I'm just not projecting as much. Sorry, had a little power flip and had to wait for it to recover all the audio because it was too chunky. That's a sign clearly, Lucky, that we should not be here much longer.
I'm okay with that.
Let's see. Technically, I read farther in my notes, but that was probably in the 6-second chunk that wasn't finished being backed up. So, I was talking about his final skill. which has that multiplier for damage boost up. It's pretty cool. So it's a big damage output boost for Oberon. But then, after one turn, it removes all buffs on that servant. All of them, forever.
Jesus.
Can't be stopped. No buffs. And then gives them Eternal Sleep. Eternal Sleep is a buff? That never goes away and can't be ignored with resistance or immunity.
It's a little terrifying.
Yes, you go to sleep forever. You cannot block it. You cannot remove it. Eternal Sleep also makes it so the unit can't be sacrificed, so you can't Chen Gong them away.
Jesus.
And it also gives that servant a taunt for 3 turns, and makes them unable to be swapped. Order change doesn't work on them, so you can't Miss Crane or Plug Suit them away. So basically slap this on a rash for Big Stella. That seems to be, by the way, the methodology. Either you save it for the big finish in the final wave and the battle is over so it doesn't fucking matter, or you use it on a Rash who already has really, really powerful damage multipliers for NP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think his overcharge is just NP does bonus damage. You can make him do even bigger Stella, and then he just takes care of it himself. Nice. Or you just wait for the enemy to just beat up the servant who can't wake the fuck up and they die. Another form of a Rash suicide. But yeah, so it's a really weird one. Like, it's a really, really powerful buff. The damage output on that Buster and NP damage up is very, very high. But also, if you actually live through that turn, it's really the sleep bit is sassy.
Seems like Oberon has a lot of what's the word I want to use here? Like devil's bargains. You get something really nice, but it's gonna suck in a minute.
I think it fits the Pretender theme. Like, and also he is the Fairy King Oberon.
Would you like
he's
to make
just
a deal?
Yo. He'll give you debuffs, but then he gives you the debuffs. You even can see that with his first passive. His first passive gives everybody on your squad but foreigners 10% debuff success up, which is a cool passive. Oh yeah, there are also, by the way, a lot of jokes because you can also give the buff to him because it's targetable. You can do the Oberon solo where Oberon just passes the fuck out and dies. But also this has a special Merlin debuff. All Merlin allies get 20% buff success down, so you can't. The Oberon is deliberately designed not to wombo combo with Merlin. Also, by the way, a very solid argument for Proto Merlin because it literally says Merlin allies, so Merlin is a trait now. It's funny. He has Territory Creation E-, so that one arts card he has does like an extra 1.5% effectiveness. It's very funny. Does have Item Construction A+, though. So his debuff success rate is very good. Writing A, so those quick cards are good. And also, this passive is called Midsummer's Night Dream. He is just straight up immune to mental debuffs and curse. Charm? Doesn't work. Terror? Nah. Confusion? Nope. I think Sleep is also a mental debuff? None of that. Curse? Fuck you. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's a very interesting kit for a first Pretender. Obviously, he is able to boop snoots while maintaining a interesting support bent, but he can't stack well with Merlin, and as Lucky brought up, he's got a lot of double-edged swords. Got a lot of the back and forth. So, using him will be tricky. I don't think we're gonna catapult immediately to, like, this isn't like, Tamovich, Konoskaya, Oberon, Buster, Loop, meta. Like, I think what you're gonna get is just, like, Oberon's gonna be useful for some very interesting opportunities, but you have to be very careful using him. I think the general theme is it plays a lot to the trope of A Midsummer's Night Dream, where basically everything's a dream, it's all night, when you wake up the next morning, you feel like shit. AKA, so Oberon is just Hangovers, the servant. You wake up the next day and you regret everything. Also, I'm going to throw this out there. Being a Pretender, maybe don't dig too deep on his lore, because you'll probably find spoilers. You'll go in the spoiler hole, and you won't come out.
As you go in, there is no coming out.
Maybe. They do usually alternate, I guess, though often the single target is first. I mean, like, if you want me to compare Oberon to, say, like, Kiara, or Lip, I guess, they're probably in the same caliber of, like, really, really weird niche stuff, but definitely have the levels, and I think his stats are way more balanced than launch Kiara's. Kiara had a real damage problem when we started. It's because they were afraid of the fact that her NP is, Pierce Invul and Defense Ignore. Yeah, it's proper true damage. Unless you have Caster Artoria, there is nothing you can do to dodge Kiara NPs. So they were like, what if we made her noodly damage? And then they were like, wait, this is an AoE servant. You can kind of spam it, but you can't spam it that much. Maybe it's okay if she does a little bit more damage.
The noodle is okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the thing is, you still need Oberon at the end, so you can't apply his buff and then have that unit be useful. That unit has to go away, or the game will make them go away, so it's very tricky.
Oh, people are coming out with all the strats. That's how they're gonna do. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
No, but that, I mean, I might be slightly upset, because I feel like every time a unit is funky, everybody's like, this is worthless, it's hard, it's too hard, can't brain. And then it's like, okay. Like, you can't, there can't be a proper smooth brand strat to Oberon, unless the smooth brand strat is his third skill doesn't exist, in which case, why are you bothering to use Oberon? He only has like 70% batteries. There are better batteries out there. You can run double waver. So yeah, that's just my personal thinking. But we got an interesting wealth of passives and stuff. It'll be pretty interesting to see. And somebody did bring up, that's why I commented on it. If they could entirely be possible the next Pretender servant is single target. That'll be pretty interesting. There are a lot of alter ego bosses, so that would be a pretty good unit. I mean, you can use Oberon on that and then see how it works out. But I think that's everything in my notes.
Alrighty.
So I think there might be like a day or two left. Let me double check. I wanna see how the Fanservant Friday poll is going. 3 days left. Kriemhild Avenger is still winning, though she's only by 38%. Cheshire is sneaking up at 31%. You've got 3 days left. So, probably more like 2 days by the time this episode comes out. But, yeah, that's everything I have for the show. I will admit the whole power reset and then waiting for everything to boot the fuck back up definitely took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah, no, well, we were winding up anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I need to order a new UPS, I think. I can't find the way to buy individual batteries for it. I've had it for 2 or 3 years. The battery's probably going bad. But Yeez, I think it's time to do the wrap-up goo. So, next week, we'll probably be hitting you with all our final thoughts on the summer. We'll be all through the story and all the extra story at the end and all that other funny stuff. The event won't... will be over, won't it? 5 days left, I think?
Yeah, it's at 5.
Yeah, so, I don't know what we'll do next. We've been doing a lot of stuff. Wouldn't mind a little bit of relax week.
Mm-hmm.
Able to focus on something other than smashing FGO constantly for QP. But, you know, I believe Guildfest is next, though. Battle in New York would be the next event, I think. Because I'm fairly certain... The next big event, anyway. I'm pretty sure that Saber Wars 2 is taking the Halloween slot, so that won't be until October.
Yes.
We probably won't get... Well, actually, I don't know. We might... That may have been in, like, the event announcement. I wonder if we'll get, like, a cheeky Halloween is canceled this year note, or it'll just happen. Shrug.
We'll see.
But I think that's everything you can look forward to next week. Obviously, we'll let you be apprised if JP also does anything, as Lucky did note way earlier. That banner is going on until, like, the 31st. You never know. They could just cruise control the rest of the month. I doubt they will, though. They've had a lot of dead air. That's like 2 whole weeks of nothing.
Like I said, LB6 is a big thing, and I'm pretty sure they want to give time for people to complete it. Did I say that right? I don't even know.
Yes, they want to give people time to complete it, but they are also giving you the tools if you want to speed slam it a little, you know, giving you extra apples, giving you half AP, Spirit Stones.
I honestly, they might, like, sneak something in there, but I really don't see them trying to squeak something else inside there with, like, apparently summer, like, right around the corner.
Yeah, I would expect maybe, like, we'll hit 1 million DLs or something, or, like, some other kind of excuse for, like, hey, have some extra dailies because you've been rolling a lot of servants. Hey, here's some more Saint Courts for summer because we know you've already blown all your anniversary courts because we had like 2 whole banners in there. Sorry, bye. Like, maybe a little bit of a recharge event, or maybe not because this is something we did not mention, I think, last week when we talked about the Takuchi and Natsu interview. They did talk about how working in the COVID situation has been, like, way difficult and has required a lot more effort from everybody to figure out their shit and do it in a timely manner. So who knows? But if there is any news in JP, we'll let you know. But that, I think, is going to be the whole show. So it's time to engage wrap-up. And wrapping up the show sounds a little something like this. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below, or hit up our Discord. Link is in the video description and channel page, as always. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to get more Let's Talk FGO and more videos of cool stuff that happens. Also, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that bell for notifications so you always know we post a new video. I should actually double check. I think our like notification click-through stats were pretty bad. You should ring the bell more, guys. It lets you know when we post new videos and when we stream, which is important. Because if you're watching this live on YouTube, hopefully, because I'm going to try and not make it go too much longer. And I got to compress the audience. If you're watching this live on YouTube right now, What's Up will be live streamed later today.
Yay!
If you're watching this in the past, when it was live recorded and stuff, then What's Up will be coming tomorrow. So notifications are cool because I let you know we stream stuff. I haven't brought back Fail Portrayal. You should watch that. It's back. We'll do it sometimes. I think Dallas has school on Tuesdays, though, so I don't know how much we'll do it all the time. Curse you, higher education! But you can also, in addition to the usual, all that stuff I said about liking, commenting, and subscribing, you can support our channel memberships by joining our channel, get access to emotes and membership badges. You could also throw us a super thanks. Nobody's tried that out yet, but it's like a super chat, but it's a regular comment.
Super chat time.
And, of course, like it said at the front of the video, you can support us on Patreon. You get access to this episode in audio format, downloadable for as little as $1 a month or around $10 a year. And at higher levels, you can get access to early video releases, topic polls, and other stuff like listening to the show live and chuckling with us like all of our friends did today. All of our many, many patron friends chuckling about stuff, yelling about fairies and heists and stuff.
And stuff.
So much stuff. And also helping give us assets. But anyway, that's the show. We will see you next week for more. Do check out What's Up later. We'll know if you don't. And we'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Curse you, sky gods! Actually, I don't even know. It's literally not even thundering here. It's just electricity is a mystery. I need to ask Tesla about this.